stick on topic. Like that right there isn't even super complex, but that would already put you in the upper echelon of YouTube. It's hard for a lot of people. People, for whatever reason, like they just drag it out. A lot of vlog channels do it. It's like eating $100 ice cream, and they'll be like, I'm gonna eat $100 ice cream. But first, and then it's like earlier in the day, and it's just stuff that has nothing to do with what you clicked on. It's like them birthday shopping for their mom. And it's like, that's not why I came here.
Now, if you're looking to grow your YouTube channel, I gotta tell you about this before we get into the rest of Mr. Beast Genius Advice. And that is that we at Think Media are doing a free YouTube challenge to help you grow your first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube or make your first $1,000 on YouTube. To sign up for free, all you have to do is go to tube1kchallenge.com or check out the link down in our description. During this free challenge, Sean Cannell, the founder of Think Media, is going to be showing you guys how to grow your YouTube channels and make money online with YouTube. So click on the link to sign up today or to check out when our next challenge is going to be. Okay, let's get back into the video.
What's interesting is the longer people watch something, the more likely they are to keep watching. So you don't have to try as hard in the hypothetically back half of a video as you do in the front. Like even right now, we're so deep into this where a lot of people listening are probably just going to keep listening relatively close to the end unless we just have a really boring part of this conversation because they're just in it. They're immersed. And so a big, like to really boil it down to a simple level, you just want to get people where they're immersed in the content and then just kind of hold them there.
The thing is, it's all knowledge. It really is. And like every time I say this, people debate it to the end of time on Twitter, but I don't care. Like I could start a new channel tomorrow with not using my face or my voice, like without ever promoting it, and in 6 months have 20 million subscribers. I just could. Yeah. It's purely knowledge. Like if you knew what I knew, you could get 10 million views a video and you could get 10 million subscribers no matter where you are right now within 6 months. It really is just knowledge. And I can already tell you 90% of the people watching, they don't agree with that. They don't. And everyone has excuses and they're always like, nah, YouTube just doesn't work like that, Jimmy. You don't understand. But I mentor a lot of people. I see it even to this day. I still see it all the time. It is possible. It is simply knowledge. And the second you accept that it is knowledge and you start your, for me, 10,000 day journey of learning, for you, whatever it is, if you want to be less hardcore, and like actually figuring out, what makes a good video, what does my audience want, how can I elevate, and then you take that knowledge and you just assume that I will never understand what the perfect video is, and every single day I just need to be devoted to learning as much as possible and improving as much as possible, and I got to improve every video as much as I can. Then there you go. There are tons of viral ideas that people can do that don't require money. It does not require money to go viral. Like at one point, one of my most viewed videos was like spending 24 hours in a desert. We just grabbed a tent, some stuff, and we went to the desert. And it got like 60, 70 million views. I have so many videos where we spent hardly any money, like the no food one, or I'd have to pull up the channel and go through it, that have gotten tens of millions of views, and they would have gotten 10 plus million views even on a small channel. So people who say, oh, well, I could be Mr. Beast if I had money. Well, A, I didn't start off with money. I was poor. I had no money, and it took me like 7 years just to buy a camera, saving up from YouTube. And B, some of our most viewed videos, literally, like anyone can do.
The best way to get views, in my opinion, I think it's better to really, really focus on quality if you're a very small YouTuber, and you can upload a video a day, and like all the videos be average, and like none of those videos will really stand out. None of it's like epic enough where like the algorithm's gonna go, oh, this video is good, like we need to spread it. I feel like a lot of small YouTubers, they just post like videos that aren't bad, but they're not great, and they just do that, and none of them ever pop off, so they never get an audience. Where it might be better to like, upload half or a third or even like a fifth of the videos, but make the videos you upload so freaking good that like the algorithm has to promote it, and that it has to find audiences for it, because it's such an interesting and good video. When you like set a consistent schedule and you're constantly having to upload videos that aren't as good as you'd like because you got to hit, oh, this Monday I said I'd upload every Monday, like that's a dangerous trap, because then the viewers notice that the quality isn't as good and it makes them less likely to watch. I think it hurts your longevity. A lot of times people, oh boy, it's like they think their videos are better than they are, honestly, and
tell them, Jimmy, tell them.
I mean, they do, and you have to that, and they have horrible friend groups, because you really are like the type of YouTubers you hang around, and so like a lot of times I'm just like, what you're saying is wrong. Who told you this? They're like, oh, this guy, and it's like, well, they're wrong. It's not true. There's no such thing as a perfect video. Like someone should always call you
and shit on your video because it could be better. Like that's because imagine if someone does that every video and you upload hundreds, if not 1,000 videos over the next 10 years, and every single time someone's critiquing you and you're applying what they're critiquing. Like imagine the compound effect over that time span. It's invaluable. People think it's like, oh well, it's all like CTR and stuff like that. But a big thing that everyone fucking underestimates is it's what was your experience with your last video? If people loved the last video of yours that they watched, they're more likely to watch your next one. For the YouTubers watching this, when people watch your video, they go, okay, that was good, but like that's enough of you for the day. Like it was all right? Whereas what you want is them to go, holy crap, that was crazy. Oh my god, what's that? Holy crap, that was crazy. Oh my god, and they watch 10 videos. That's what you're going for. That data can't describe. And like I've never heard anyone talk about that. That is it. That's the entire view count because people watch 10 videos, not one. I think it's okay to draw inspiration from me, but just don't do what I do to a T. It's not like $1 versus blank. I'm the first person to do it. But I just, saw that format and I was just like, how can I do that 100 times better? How can I put 100 times more creativity into it? How can I level up the editing by 100 times? How can I spin on blah, blah, blah. And that's always my mindset. How can I if I get inspired by something, how can I do that but 100 times better and make it my own?
One's right below you guys.
Mr. Beast did that.
Yeah, how do I make a good thumbnail? How do I get people to see my video?
I want it to be simple.
60, my bad.
To like when they're scrolling through their suggested or homepage or whatever touch point, you want them to instantly be able to understand what you're conveying, and you want them to feel some type of emotion. You know what I mean? The way I like to phrase it is you want to make it so interesting or spike their curiosity or whatever emotion so much that like if they don't click it, they'll wonder, before they go to bed, like what happened? You know what I mean? Like an example would be like if you uploaded a video, I rode a skateboard with 1,000 other people on it, and like people are falling off the side or whatever. And I'm envisioning like a giant skateboard, like you're gonna like.
Yeah, they're going B.
It's gonna be on your mind.
Smoked off.
Later in the day when you're daydreaming, you're gonna think like, what happened? What happened to those 1,000 people? That's kind of the mindset I think you should have when making thumbnails.
How often do you change a thumbnail on a video? Is that something you usually just stick with one? Or you
planted.
try
Well,
different
so
ones?
I think we get better at making thumbnails every year. So it's more when I upload a thumbnail, I usually think it's good, and I don't change it most of the time. But what happens is like 3 years later, I look back and I'm like, oh, that's a horrible thumbnail.
Last player
Last two back.
Years we just go back and update a lot of our older thumbnails. Just terrible. That's just with like the new knowledge we have and what we've learned. And funny enough, that actually usually does help quite a bit when we update the thumbnails on old videos. They usually do see a little bit of an update.
One enemy remaining.
Take an old thumbnail where it's like seeing if whatever, like a car, and it just
My bad.
And then with the new stuff, I know we zoom in a little bit so it's a little more visible, make things look better. And then magically it starts doing a little bit better because now people actually understand what it is because I'm not as much of an idiot anymore.
Yeah, I should have peeked that. I knew he was gonna be there.
Than television ever was, in America at least, in my opinion. And so I think a lot of people underestimate that, and I don't think people really understand just how, like, to be one of the top creators on the biggest social media platform, and that will also be the biggest in 10 years during that whole time.
I have a feeling they're coming alpha this round.
How crazy that is. Like, you don't need a network, you don't need, to go through people. You just are. You can do whatever you want, and you can influence people how you want. It's just wild. It's mind blowing, and you can leverage that to build businesses.
In heaven.
Like the Beast Philanthropy or whatever. I think like people
Spike
don't
down
realize
A.
just how much influence the top YouTube channels have.
No one's ever gonna do what I do better.
70
Like, it's just not. It's not even humanly possible. Like I reinvest everything.
One enemy
I
remaining.
work every hour I'm awake. I devote every atom in my brain to solving this. I hire the best people on the planet.
Good shit,
I've been doing this
guys.
for 14 years. And I think in decades, not years. So I'm going to be doing this for another 20, 30 years, not 2 or 3. So no, the next me isn't going to be me because no one's going to do what I do better than me. It's not possible. If I thought someone was doing better than me, I'd just start sleeping less so I could work even more. Like I'd figure it out. I don't give a
The barrier to entry to be you is extremely high.
Yeah.
right? Especially where you're
Well,
at
it's just because
now.
I'm all in. I'm crazy. Like people shouldn't be me. I don't have a life. I don't have work-life balance. My personality, my soul, my being is making the best videos possible, entertaining my fans as best as I can. Like that is what exists on this planet. And I don't recommend it. You know what I mean? Like you should have work-life balance. You should not devote your entire life to this one thing. Like go have fun.
Spike
Like
down,
you know,
mid.
I'm miserable a lot of times. I have a mental breakdown every other week because I push myself
One
so hard.
enemy
Like, I
remaining.
don't recommend it. You know.
What do you think gets us to 1 million subscribers?
Well, subscribers is an arbitrary.
Okay, so
That-
million views.
No, you should ask me what helps us make the best videos possible. That's the only question you should ask me. Subscribers don't matter. Views don't matter. I mean, they do, but all that comes. Everything you want as a creator comes from making the best videos possible and thumbnails. But it's easier to, make thumbnails. The video part's the hard part, and that's the thing that you're known for. Ask, how can I make my videos better? Do that every single day for years, and then you'll probably get views.
This is our home. Keep them out.
Anything A?
B.
B?
Ja.
Need that back. Need that back. Careful.
Nah, and they come in mid to A.
Oh yeah, they're mid. You can res.
Is not over.
No, I don't think we peeked that stage.
He's on site. Rena's on B.
Spike down A.
Hold on.
I think I jet.
Rena's going our spawn.
They're sewers. They're sewers. They're going A. They're going A. They're in A with right now.
One enemy remaining.
Rena's in our spawn.
Y'all mess with that play though, right?
Now what'd you do?
I baited this shit out of Guayo and got 3.
You guys, what are some recommendations for some music?
Chill, K-pop.
The stereo.
Alright, you guys are fucking retards.
Chill lo-fi type beat. On YouTube.
Kanye.
Chill lo-fi.
Yo, you can buy me.
Kanye.
I'm talking about.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Bruno Mars.
I have
Kanye.
a weekend rush here.
Kanye.
Right now.
Here, Fuzz SP. A lot of Fuzz SP.
Enemy spotted B.
We're gonna hit 33.
We can play with Jake. I have full.
I'm good.
I fuck with it.
Let's go. Let's go.
One enemy remaining.
Alright, huh?
You're right, Sage. You're right.
Last player standing.
115.
Yo, Gaya, where you from?
As much as this world hurt me, it's mine, and I will kill to defend it.
Can I get that Vandal skin, Sage?
Behind me, I thought it was you. Oh. You want mine?
Yo, Breach.
I'm gonna wall this round.
Yo, Breach, where you from?
From
Yeah, you got a
Venezuela.
Vandal skin,
From where?
Astra.
I got
Venezuela, but I live in New York City.
Oh, okay. That's cool. So, like, would you be mad if I had, like, a Columbia jersey on right now?
What?
I have,
It's a
like,
soccer weirdo, bruh.
I have a Columbia jersey on right now.
Right?
You should run.
It's, like, almost Venezuela.
Yeah, it's like
Sideways.
brothers.
no baby. I just get to leave myself.
Taking that back.
How are we feeling about their rotating to A?
I feel really strong about it.
Oh yeah, they're all mid. They're all mid.
Yeah, I need help.
I'm coming as fast as I can. I'm gonna walk.
I'm gonna smoke you.
Message sent. Reloading.
They could be on the stage.
My ult's ready.
Yo, 100 on him. That good.
One
Shit.
enemy remaining. Spike down A.
My op!
I set upon
hate waiting. Let's do this.
We just gotta fucking do the fuck up and then we actually gotta get legit. I can't find a video to watch though, guys. I really can't. That's what I gotta tell you.
Kid, we're not.
I was a terrible kid. It was the end of the world. This was my life.
That's so dangerous.
I was so addicted.
Explain Dream to me.
He's a gamer who's hit his face. There must be a reason.
Is there a moment when lots of money starts coming in? Yes. In 1 month?
And then I edit it in a way where I cut things in almost like a misleading way.
How strategic of a marketer are you? Do you regret?
Yeah, we got mid. We got mid.
It's hard to spend time on YouTube and not
We
hear
got mid
Dream's
unlocked.
name or see his iconic smiling face. He has over 30 million subscribers.
Yeah,
and
guys,
some
they
of his
could go away.
videos
Sage,
have
we got mid,
upwards
dude.
of
Not
100
taking.
million views. Now, he grew through telling stories on Minecraft, playing the game live, and then editing those videos into cinematic stories. While he was getting incredibly famous, he also remained incredibly mysterious. He never showed his face until 2022 when he decided to do a
Where's
face
over here?
reveal. Now, this was a moment that took over the internet. Over 40 million people watched as he revealed his face for the first time. 6 months into 2023, Dream announced that he's
Yeah, they're
putting
both
the
3 and
mask
6.
back on.
Viper's still
Obviously
here.
made Colin and I
Alright, yo, Jet,
incredibly
you stay there.
curious. He's also embarking into a career in music and is recently signed to Republic Records, which is a record label that also
So, like, what are we
represents
doing?
Jonas
Where's my
Brothers,
mid-hold?
Ariana Grande, and Bo Burnham. We talked to him about his origin story and dive deep into his childhood to get an
Mid, mid.
understanding
Left.
of how
One
he
enemy
became one of the
remaining.
biggest creators of our generation. And as you'll see in the interview, one of the best marketing minds on the internet.
Yo, grab the other op, please. I got 3. Grab the other op. I got 3 with it.
Someone where we can't see
There
their
we go.
facial
Double op.
There you go. My eyes are here.
Right here, baby.
Good to know. Right in the middle of the eyes. That's where I
I
am.
thought I was like fucking
So
schizophrenic.
yeah, we
I
saw
thought I
you
was
at
like
VidCon.
tripping
I don't know
here in
if you
Viper's
clocked this
footsteps.
experience at all. We were in the elevator.
Really?
Yeah, it was just the 3 of us in the elevator.
Me? Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
On the way-
No, I was.
Oh no,
I
he was with security.
Oh yeah, I was never alone.
No, but you were with security.
Okay.
And you walk out, and Colin looks at me, and I look at Colin, and we were like, "That wasn't Dream. Like, there's no way that was Dream." And then Colin goes, "Yeah, someone's making a video. Like, I snuck into VidCon as Dream. Real cool." And then,
Also, like, I've never seen you in person.
Yeah.
And you walked out, and like, your back was big.
yeah,
and
you're like a big dude.
a little more muscular, and I was just like, damn, like if that is Dream, he's kind of like Jack.
I think a little bit of the padding.
Yeah, hold on.
I
Double
guess
hop's
just
coming.
bigger
Double
than-
hop's coming.
Yeah.
Taller and bigger than
Double hop's on its way.
But what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. It's actually funny. See, you guys probably don't know this.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, no one can't tell anybody who it is.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the one who set this up.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
texted me and he was like, I just met Colin and Samir, and
Yeah.
I told them I knew you and could set up an
Yeah.
interview. I was like,
Go ahead.
let's do it. That's
Oh,
sweet.
sick.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, this kind of came together
Go
really
on.
quickly. But I'm really excited that it came together. Like,
Yeah.
super interested in just
Good luck
everything
beginning
that's
to
going
yours.
on with you. Obviously, like, the place to start is the fact that you're wearing a mask right now.
Yeah, I think
know-
that's a good place.
You're sitting in front of us wearing the mask. You've decided to put the mask back on. You released a video called "Buy from Dream," which
Yeah, baby,
shows
baby.
that you're putting the mask
30
back
seconds
on.
left.
Comes with you releasing new music. Like, what's going on?
One
in the world of
enemy
Dream
remaining.
right now?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously I did my face reveal. I guess you can't tell now, but I did my face reveal in October of
Better.
last year. The whole time, obviously, the mask has been a massive part of like everything I've done. And I never actually planned to not show my face. Like, I just started as a faceless creator because of the fact that I never really showed my face online. I don't know. There's probably a ton of reasons for that, but I just never really had. And I didn't have social media, actually. I didn't have a Twitter. I didn't have Facebook. I didn't have Instagram. I had like nothing before I started YouTube. And so I just happened to not really have many pictures of me on any of my, or no pictures of me on any of my stuff. And then fans took that and were like, oh my God, he's like faceless. And they started drawing fan art of me in a mask. And then I got sent a mask to my PO box. And I was like, that's so sick. So it really was like made by the fans, I guess. And I never wanted to lose that.
Right there in the corner.
To me, the mask became the meaning behind like,
Careful.
anyone can be Dream. Like anyone can succeed and can do anything they want. And because of the fact that no one knew what I looked like, it was kind of like who I was, and that was something that was like, if you look up to that kind of like, I saw a quote from Stan Lee about Spider-Man, a long time ago that was very similar. I don't want to compare myself to a
Yeah, I think they're mid, guys.
superhero dream, but like it was
Oh,
inspiring. And
Jet
he
was
said, like,
here,
wanted
Nate.
Spider-Man covered from head to toe.
Yeah, well, Jet's not
because he wanted
Radiant.
Anyone, no matter their race or religion or wherever they're from, to be able to be like, I could be Spider-Man. And so I kind of related to that, and that I always wore gloves
Yeah,
in all my
Jet was
photos,
there.
and I always did everything as it became more of a part of kind of my image as Dream. To kind of have that of like, you can be Dream and anyone can be Dream and do what they want. And then I did the face reveal, and this specialty mask, an awesome company that did like a lot of the superhero masks.
And
was
Daft
being
Punk too, right?
Yeah,
Dude, how'd they get it off?
I did
What?
Marshmallow, they did a bunch of superheroes as well. They say they do like all the.
Yeah, I say you just say my op, dude. There's one
they were
more.
working
There's one
on it.
more.
We were working on it
I don't know
for a long
where.
time.
It's
And
over
I
there,
always planned
on my
on
thing.
keeping the mask and wearing it, not wearing it all the time, but wearing it and making sure that when I was Dream, I really envisioned that. I really kept that
I
image
can
and
buy
that
you,
meaning
honestly.
behind
If
it,
you
'cause
buy
I
me
feel like
then,
that's
I'll
such an
just buy you
inspiring
off.
message to kids and to everyone that
Uh,
watches Dream and kinda knows
buy Jets
who I
off.
am
Buy Jets off.
and inspires you to always smile and kind of all those things behind it. And then it took a lot longer to kind of have it made, and so after a long period of time, I was like, oh god, now it's weird if I just start wearing it randomly, like to certain events and whatever. And so I was like, how can I actually give a reason, within like the Dream lore and the reason behind everything, as to actually make it make sense why I'm introducing it again and why no, it is a part of who I am and this is why it is. And so I thought, what's kind of a bigger news than deleting the face reveal and being like, hey, I'm putting
Dude, I
mask
think they're
back on
mid.
to solidify that.
So is it more
Sage, I got mid,
brand
dude.
of
I'm ready.
Dream than it is about what it was like
No, but
personally?
like, I got mid.
Not having the mask, dealing with
I
fame.
got mid.
Oh, I mean, it's much more about the meaning behind the mask.
I got
yeah,
B.
obviously that goes into the branding and stuff.
Yeah, who's
but
got
it's,
A,
it's
though?
so much
What?
more about what the mask means to me and how it felt when I was wearing it before, and what I thought in terms of the inspiration for other people. And obviously, I saw a lot of people. Obviously, there was a lot of stuff whenever I did the face reveal. Dream was ugly, was
Yeah, we have
trending,
three
and other
here.
stuff.
Yeah.
But I've talked about that and stuff before and been like, yeah, but okay, it had 6,000 tweets or whatever, and the video had 50 million views, and it had there's a lot of there's so many positive comments that I've never
Unavoidable.
gotten
My
more
ultimate
support
is ready.
whenever that happened as well. And so I think that I have a very like healthy relationship.
You watch
with what
up,
I
you
look
watch the
like
top,
and-
you watch
and
it,
being
you
like,
watch
hey,
up there.
I'm happy with how I look. And
I missed.
the news I've always wanted to spread is like that you should just be yourself and
30
not care. And so that
seconds
I think it goes a little
Spike
bit against that
planted.
to be like, no guys, I'm ugly.
Bodies
so
in
I'm
heaven
hiding
if you
my
want to
face."
res.
That was obviously if you watch my video, I did
Last
on
player
it, my from Dream video. It's
No, you
can-
res you
can
wall
tell
and
if
res
it's
me.
my
You
friend,
just
my
res me.
roommate's
It is
bursting
not
going, you're
bossy, like I
ugly.
shit
Put the
on.
mask back on. Like you need to cover that face. You
You kill him,
whatever.
then you res me. Just res
But
me.
surprisingly, that
Dude, why are you
video
baiting me?
spread
You're
like
baiting me.
wildfire,
You're
but
baiting
not the actual video itself, but like the headline, because the headline is so catchy of like, Dream gets hate and deletes face reveal. Sometimes it just works out where you have something like that that pops up and you're like, perfect.
That's something that I've been curious about you for a while. Of like, is it just that things kind of fall into place, or how strategic of like a marketer are you?
You even hit
know,
him?
because like your face reveal was one of the best internet campaigns
Last
I've ever
round
seen.
in the half.
Like
I thought you
people
would've hit him.
reacting to your face prior to it.
Yeah.
And there was part of me that was trying to understand, like, is this the face reveal specifically? Is this a guy who really just wants to live?
Oh, dude, Jet was low. Oh, I
be
would've- if I knew that, dude, I would've
by
aced.
this concept of wearing a mask, be able to hang out with his friends, go
Yeah,
out
me
in
neither.
public, make IRL content.
I'm gonna throw a
or
smoke
is
down
this
mid,
really
because
one of
they've been going mid a
the
lot.
sharpest marketing campaigns I've ever seen? And or is it a mix?
Yeah, so I think the completely like honest answer is that it's almost always a mix. Like I feel
Yeah.
like I've always really lived by the quote that the best type of marketing is marketing that doesn't feel like marketing.
Yeah.
And so because I've always like lived by that and been like that is my thing. If there's ever an opportunity where I go, I see something, even if it's like a
Hey,
last
I'm my
minute
boy.
thing
Face
that
your
wasn't a part of the
fear.
plan, but I can make it seem like
Got
it's
you,
somehow
I got you,
connected
I'm
or
radiant.
whatever, then I'll always jump at that because I go that it feels the most natural because it is the most natural because it is
Oh, I
something I
froze,
didn't plan
what?
or it is something I did.
Where'd you go?
Whatever. It's like I
Excuse
didn't
me,
for the
Fart?
I
Why
wasn't
are we not
going,
safe?
I'm going, when I face reveal, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna
I
have
got
these reaction videos. But what happened was I
it's not a
did
reach ult.
I did the first one with George because I always promised him, hey, I'll show you my face.
Backside.
And so he texted me. He said,
Gates at 80
"He's
backside.
gonna move from here with me." Awesome. I'll show you my face as soon as he hasn't seen my face. He was my best friend
fine,
for
honestly.
10
Hey, you're
years.
good.
He had never
That's
seen my
Team is
face.
so good
That's a
on that
wild
side.
He was always asking for like the
Switching
first like
sides.
5 years, and then the next like 5 years he was saying like I was saying
Just let
like
them
I was like,
try
do you want to see? And I was willing to show him because
Wanna
some of my
go
other friends had
skin
seen,
right
and he was like, no. At
You
this
know
point,
it.
I don't want to be spoiled. Like I'd rather just wait until the big moment and see it myself. And so he got his visa approved. He texted me. I FaceTimed him.
I
seeing
think A
his
is the
reaction
better
and like
site
how
for us,
and,
but
you
we
know,
can
how
start
he
with
reacted
it.
and everything really made me realize like wow.
Or we
to-
could-
even
let's-
to
why don't we
me,
just
who knows what I
five-man
look
mid?
like, it was just
They have
kind
no
of
sage wall.
so intriguing to. I didn't know how he was gonna react. I was like, you're just seeing your friend. Like, how do you react? It's just a guy that you've known for 10 years, you've never seen.
Wolves are
Start on
Star
mid
Wars.
and-
Seeing his face, seeing what he said, seeing the way he described me, seeing that really made it interesting to me. And I was like,
no, it's
wow.
We'll
I feel
see
like
where we get a pick.
that probably is just as interesting to everyone else. And so I was like, I want to do that for everyone. And so I started reaching out to my friends. And then as soon as I did that, I was like, why just my friends? I trust
close,
Mark
still close.
Robert to not. He's not going to tweet out my face or something.
Yeah.
There were
Smoke
certain
set
creators
up
that reached
for
out that I was like, I could see them maybe being like,
How are we going at?
and doing like a prank or something. So I was like, I'll wait.
I'm
But I also
distracted.
FaceTime just out of interest, like people off camera, like
No, she's there. She's there.
before I did face reveal,
Good shit.
completely off camera, and a couple of more of my friends that
So
never
the
even
rest, I
posted
think
anything.
they're a B.
And it really
But
was
that
like.
took over, and it
I'm
was
lagging like
also
crazy.
You have the wall, you
creators
have the
like
wall
us.
from-
There was an
How long
element of
till?
FOMO for us to be like,
He has 20
"Hey,
minutes to
he's
get
on
started.
stream call." You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think like that's the thing where people also there's a couple creators that like I didn't really
got
like,
a
people
heal?
that took risks that just tweeted like yo Dream and I was like sure you know what fine.
Marquez
Wait,
Brown
wait, wait,
was the
stop.
one where I was like, oh wow, he's really like,
One
spanning
enemy remaining.
beyond kind of
Nice right now.
going into.
Stop,
like,
we win. Stop.
I actually I
We're gonna
don't
peek
remember
together.
how that happened. I
Yeah.
think I was just
Let me
scrolling
know
through
when.
my following.
All right,
and I saw
3,
him and I was
2,
like, that's sick. I love Mark.
Nice. Good shit.
Yeah, you didn't know Radiant, dude. Even though we lined up, like he
his
didn't have a chance.
reaction was so funny because like he didn't have any expectations. I'm sure he was just like sure I'll see it. And he's like oh okay there you go cool.
But the pushback a little bit for me reminded me as a creator the first time you have a video that goes viral and goes outside of your own audience and you start checking the comments and they start getting a little bit negative and you're like, wait a minute, this is not my actual audience. You know, like if you do a face reveal to just the core audience, it's probably
good.
majority positive. You turned it into such a cultural moment that it like trended on Twitter and everyone got to weigh in, even if it was the first
Yeah,
time
Viper
they
was
heard about you.
tower.
Take us into that moment of like
Just
the actual
pop
face
first off.
reveal video because I'm in the world and I was getting texts from people, you know, my
Landing
sister
high.
who's not in this world.
Landing high again.
That night.
I had like a
Watch
million.
out,
watch out, keep it behind. Keep it behind.
It was like
Bro.
there was a million wait. I was like, oh my god! Like I've done like massive streams that had massive
Last
viewership,
player
and we're not
standing.
even close to that, and they're waiting. They're not even like the video's not even playing. They're just like,
Enemy
about to
remaining.
happen.
Nice.
And I
Vandal on
think,
Reyna's
yeah, I mean,
body.
it really did. Like that was pretty true. I see
It was,
criticism all the
it was
time.
sight.
Well, yeah, obviously people are gonna say he was ugly or whatever, or one way or the other, because he
My bad,
hyped it up
guys.
so much, and he's just a normal-looking guy. or
my
whatever.
bad. I
I was like,
didn't
I
peek
wasn't
with Reyna
trying
and
to
Jett,
hype
it's
it
on
up.
me.
I was trying to hype up the moment. I wasn't trying to hype me up. Be like, guys, look, I'm so like.
Get ready for this face.
Get ready for how hot.
Get ready for me, man. I've been putting in these gains behind this mask for so long. Like,
I actually thought you were.
Yeah, you got like a YouTube video in the
This is,
background.
I don't know what this says about me or society, but I thought you were better looking than I anticipated when
wow.
you face
I mean,
revealed.
hey, I think that
You know?
I'm sure there's a lot of people on both ends of the spectrum. Like there was a lot of fans of mine, I'm sure, that thought I was more attractive than I was. There's a lot of fans of mine that
It's
thought
just
I
when
was
you
Every time you
man,
play.
he's a gamer who's hit his face. There must be a reason. Like I had people like actual they said something along those lines to me afterwards. They're like, I mean, I don't want to say I thought you were ugly, but like I always
Tower.
assumed that hey, there's probably you're probably uncomfortable with how you look. You're gonna be
Coming in sight
you're
now.
gonna be-
We're like
you're
coming.
The cables.
Poison's gone.
and they were even some of my close friends were surprised, being like, oh, you're just a
One enemy remaining.
hyped up so much. Yeah, it really.
I need a gun.
Hatred, I guess, and that like.
Sure.
What the
There's
hell?
so many
Why is
guns,
he-
bro.
Why is his face so popular? He's he's just a normal guy.
But what does it feel like?
I can take
the
bomb.
day after, I think it had.
You guys, if you need to talk, I'm always here.
Honestly, I don't remember. I know it
Thank you,
had.
Jet.
It was like
Love you.
25.
Yeah,
million
this
views
kid's
in
gotta kill
24
himself,
hours or
bro. What's he
something.
saying?
So that didn't had over 40 million.
I have ult,
I
guys.
remember looking at that and thinking like, what is
Where do you
that?
need an ult?
That 40 million people were interested in.
It felt to me. It really felt like.
Here.
It
On
was
my
this
way.
like I cried tears of joy afterwards for sure. And
Okay.
it was really because like I put so much effort into not making sure I had that moment. And the fact
Rest me right now.
I want to.
Yeah, no, we should res.
Thank you.
I want this to be a big moment.
Heaven.
I went out in the back of the car whenever I left. I was the dentist.
What are you on Reyna? She healed.
Nice.
Last one was
nice.
up top. I think she dropped.
I was like,
Sight.
from me, and so the fact.
Hold that bitch. Oh my god! Okay, I did not doubt you at all. Didn't doubt you for a second.
Go see my friends, but I would have been like, damn.
It was
did I
a
really
little
just
scaly
spend a
man.
year and a half, like,
Yeah.
hiding like I'm some like fugitive or something
Yeah,
like,
Vandal
just
skin.
for that. So like I think that if you believe in something and you want to do it,
I'm good.
do it your own way and don't let anyone tell you how to do it.
So for someone who maybe is not familiar with your work or why.
Yeah, someone should, never mind. Jet's got 5K and he's requesting. I don't know if this kid's down.
How do you explain what the
Probably because he's
core
9 and 12. Like
essence
what?
is
Guys, I
of
have
your
half kills.
work?
Like, I
what
just
makes
read
your
some
videos,
like,
your
what the
art
fuck?
impactful?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yo, it went away, you
I
downy.
do so much different stuff, but I guess in my mind it's kind of under the it all has one
They play here. They play close.
Obviously my biggest thing is
Oh, behind the box, behind the box.
Behind, left, left, turn left.
Reloading.
word novel.
She was there.
Yeah, no, I think she
To
did.
be an author. Obviously, there was a long period of my life as well. Even throughout that time, I was like, I want to be a YouTuber. I posted tons of YouTube videos.
Here, buddy.
Everyone wanted to be a YouTuber, not
I'll
necessarily
spike
everyone
down.
wanted to be an author. And so
Spike
say,
down,
that was
B.
kind of they were young.
They don't know she's radiant.
Books, so it was very much like I read a lot
Yeah,
of
behind.
young adult dystopias.
Last
like,
player
games
standing.
and stuff like Divergent.
You're not.
Percy Jackson,
Evolves.
Alex Rider. So there's so many that I read when I was a kid. I used to read 100 books a year when I was like 14 to 18.
I got 148, bro. I suck.
That
I'm
was,
so
like, my
sorry.
passion.
It's okay, it's okay.
That was so winnable,
painting
too.
in my school, I would just be doing
You talk.
writing in my journal,
Yeah, you.
whatever. But so I guess the best way to describe what I do in terms of like if I'm trying to be accurate and not just talk about necessarily the meaning behind it is just I try and entertain people, make people happy, and I do that through many different ways. One of them is obviously Minecraft videos. I played Minecraft since I was a kid, and it makes me happy, so I try and share those moments. People that are in my videos on YouTube,
I'm dashing on the site, nigga.
We go.
We were friends long before we did YouTube, and just decided to do
Move,
I'm not
nigga.
gonna fully smoke ramp. I'm just gonna take it back.
Damn, nigga. Above you.
Yeah, you guys are stuck there, bro.
Enemy down.
Go, leave, run. On the lay, on the lay, on.
marketing and strategy.
I'm lurking again.
My content.
Spike
So,
Yeah, I was
down.
trying
A.
to leave,
content
bro. You have
around
the chance.
the marketing is forming the marketing around the content.
It's in their spawn.
Player standing.
Writing music, with writing like shows and stuff, because I've done stuff
Alright,
for,
clear
like,
comms.
the Dream SMP on
Let's
Twitch.
clear
I'm
comms, actually.
gonna get lost a little bit.
No, I'm at the most recent one to your right.
That's
I'm
also
left.
very
Fuck.
much storytelling, and then obviously my videos. One of my first videos was like a storytelling story about like PewDiePie's Minecraft world and his seed, and I did like.
This kid's so brain dead, bro. Sage, I was like trying to tell you you could leave, bro.
Bro, I couldn't leave, bro. I was held by.
Reyna was their Reyna was holding her from like.
And then I got fucking killed by the Reyna dog.
Yeah, their Reyna was
No,
holding her.
I blinded it and you could have left.
Need to talk about it?
What they're doing. It's less about the game and more about the story.
You took one of the like most popular canvases, Minecraft, and you applied.
Yeah, but it wouldn't contain Spike in the corner.
I'm gonna wall us. I'm gonna wall us in.
Story to that. At least that's my vantage point on it. It's like I can see that
Yeah,
you
that too.
were different. You were like, hey, this is a canvas that hundreds of
You know, like
millions
a,
Yeah, I
for
don't
us
think
to
we need to
plan.
go here.
storytelling.
Spike down. B.
It's just a sandbox.
In the corner! He's in the corner, in the corner, in the okay.
What corner, bro?
So, do you not have a mini-map to look?
Well, I mean, she's played there 3 times, and we've said
played there every
like
time,
Bush
we
left
don't
her
have to
behind
do it.
box, and she's
Yeah, I need to talk about it.
We will bury them under their transgression.
Hey, we can talk about it if you want.
Hey, I'm bored of this game now because it's been a year or whatever. Like I've done with a lot of games.
Nah, you can talk to me about
Curious
it.
though, like thinking about reading 100 books a year, like makes me think about who were you as a kid? Like who were you in high school? You know,
okay,
'cause, like
bro.
that's a very specific thing to do. Read like a book every other day.
Yeah, I feel like I was a book nerd for sure. I was not I hated school. I despised
Yeah,
school.
no
I was
noise.
like, I went to school. I don't want to do any of the stuff I'm I don't care about. I want to do my own thing. And so in high school, I mean, I was only in high school for less than a year. And then I
128
was in this big battle with my parents over like, I want to go into online school. These electives that they have at this school I want to go into technology. They have no like technology. So I went to this big battle tour eventually. I don't recommend it, and I look back and go, man, I did some stupid stuff when I was a kid. But I was like, all right, you guys aren't putting me in online school. I'm not going to school. And I just stopped going to school. I actually got arrested for truancy in school.
What is truancy?
Truancy is you don't go to school for an extended period of time, and then
Oh, hello?
You can't.
What are you hiding from?
And then I got charged with resisting arrest because I was
You have
not
a
the cop
blind.
came to the back door.
Jet 7.
You need to go to school, and I was like, not that, but essentially.
Wow.
I'm not opening the door.
Someone's up.
Parents called it?
My parents did.
Parents called it.
My parents did, and they've talked so many times since then. It's so I've never told this story. It's so interesting, but they've said so many times since then, like, we regret calling the cops, not because it was not the right thing to do, because the cops, like, you're charging like 16 or 15. I was 15. 15. You know, take guidance.
Stop! I can't hear that the same.
Like, that could have ruined my life. I could have
Going flat on the strip.
That's all I hear in my head, but it's not actually.
But I was just an idiot kid doing idiot kid stuff. But yeah, I feel like some of my, I've said this, I think some of my creativity actually probably, unfortunately, spawns from the fact that there was this like ongoing battle between me and my parents for so long where it was like, they would not give in and I would not give in to like, what I wanted to do. And so it was like, then how do I get on the computer? How do I get on the internet? How do I do these things without
They could think you're just a
And it
blank.
became this battle where like there was one point where like I had like
I hear another one. He's near the orb on
this is makes me sound like I was a terrible
And I'm
kid.
coming
I
to
was
you.
like,
Yeah.
for my parents, I was the worst kid ever. To other people, I was very nice. I
We
was
have both-
respectful,
we have both
you know, whatever.
ults.
But like I had a
We have fade
wire
and
from
breach.
my neighbor's plug run through my window, down, under, and like around in my closet, so my parents like wouldn't see it, to be able to charge my laptop that I slept under my pillow. That way they could not take it away from me. If that helps in tell you what type of kid I was like a kind of like a little devious like. I was so strong.
Spike down.
Yo, Jet. Okay.
No, you can't do what
You got
want.
creative to make that stuff happen. Were you the younger sibling, or?
I have
Match
3
point.
siblings. I have an older sister, a younger brother, and a younger sister. So I'm middle child.
Right in the middle. Okay.
I'm curious where friends come into the picture here, because when I think about reading 100 books a year or fighting for access to the internet like that, to be honest, all of those to me seem like solitary pursuits.
I didn't have many friends. I didn't have many friends, and I think that's one of the reasons as well. I was able to
Never back down. Never give up.
private for
I think it's probably
I
like
had
this
I
is
had
going all negative, probably.
friends when I was growing up. They were my 2 next door neighbors.
Welcome to my world.
You should run. I'm still friends with them to this day. But
Push right. Got that breach, old boy. I got a gun.
You have res.
I got a gun.
Get out of my way.
Plant.
But in terms of real life, yeah, I had next door neighbors when I was like middle school, and then in high school, I isolated myself.
The peeking heaven, dead.
Depression when I was like 15, and it was very much
Rain is low.
by me isolating myself and not, you know, feeling like
Sure, CT.
I really wanted to.
I got
I
info.
really wanted to go into tech, and I felt like
CT.
neither was going to happen, and so it made me
CT.
really, really
One enemy remaining.
and so I was in the suicidal, and I was like telling my parents like, if I can't do this, like, you know,
You're the one that said we
I
lost.
don't want to work a normal job, you know, whatever. I want to
No, no,
do
no.
what I want to do. And so
You're in the wrong here, man.
grew up a little bit and realized like, well, you have to make it happen, and it's not, you know. these
No,
are the
you're in the wrong
consequences.
here,
That's why
dude.
you
Admit
go
it.
to school, you have to, you have to get a job.
Yeah, stink. It is your fucking fault, Sid. What the fuck?
I was able to be like, hey, yeah, I kind of have to be an adult and be reasonable and realize that
Why your grandma
everyone else has the same rules.
Admit
My-
to your mistake.
My bad, guys.
You do what you can. And so, yeah, I worked my ass off. I did online schooling. I actually ended up graduating early, and I had tech certifications because I abused the heck out of a
Don't, no,
program,
don't.
in Florida that it's where they allow you to get free tech certifications. And I did all of
I'm gonna wall you guys on site. Reach.
Thought I was stupid.
What skills are you learning when you're taking these tech certifications?
Like I did a lot of
Only
like
once,
networking.
shame on me.
Some of them were based on like Windows.
Go B. I walled you guys.
Oh, someone go.
Sage!
I know a couple. I know I got like networking plus.
Breach alone!
Face your fear.
Java, which is
One enemy remaining.
that's the only thing I don't have a certification in, and that's the one thing I actually know how to do. It's still and can code cool stuff. But that one was that I guess the reason I know that one is because I actually was passionate about that, and I only learned because I had the idea for a Minecraft server. I went to my friend who ran one. It was a business. And this is how much it would cost, and I was like, well, I don't have the money. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it myself. He can do it.
He got skilled lift.
Watch YouTube tutorials and stuff, and then started putting stuff.
They're still kind of rich.
Which actually, my YouTube videos, I use that a lot. So.
That's interesting that your dad's a developer. Well, that was around you when you were.
Yeah, then like
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
gay.
my dad's was a massive tech
No, I
guy.
stand
Even
for
my
it.
My grandpa was like.
Unless they're women, then it's not
He,
gay.
like, he worked with like Steve Jobs and stuff.
Yeah, not against me though. I'm
Like,
radiant.
one of the first computers ever made. And
You want an op skin? I have Forsaken.
Dude, look at my
men in
freaking
my family had
hands.
On my
that
op skin, I have
background.
Forsaken.
So I always really did look up to like technology. I've always been really into technology, but
Yo,
it's-
boys,
There's
so
an
my
op here
guys.
if you want it.
When I got asked as a kid, like, oh, at least not as a kid.
I
when was
lied.
17, 18,
There's
oh,
no
what are you
op
gonna
here
do as
for
your
you.
job? It was all.
I'm working on it.
But
I'm gonna suck. I'm gonna suck.
But I never say that. I just be like, yeah, I'm gonna.
They're
be
rotating.
above
They're
or
rotating.
you know, this or that.
They're going tower.
That was like an answer that everyone would accept. It's like
Yeah,
part of your family.
but I would tell my
say,
family,
Let me hold tower.
I'm doing this. I'm gonna end up making this work or whatever, and then I mean the story.
Go put down the op.
I want to get into it right now, but the story.
Go put down the op.
started my YouTube
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
is actually very interesting, I guess. And
We just go
I
A.
think it's very showing up the behind face reveal and stuff. Like I was working at Apple, and that was again I used a lot of my certifications and stuff.
Yeah, put a star down. Pop one of your stars. Pop one of your stars.
I worked at Apple, so okay, Apple Care, so it was.
Okay, got it.
But it wasn't.
Could be anywhere, by the way.
Yeah. And I was I actually the highest level of support at Apple Care. So essentially, I had like a phone number that people you could call. Like
I don't. My half stars in like 10 seconds.
the problem is that like you went through 10 people and they couldn't send it to me.
Oh,
And again, I actually stuff there that played into YouTube. Like I learned.
I'm smoking off CT in heaven in a
30
second.
seconds left.
Ready to back up. I'm smoking off CT.
No. Just do it.
Training before.
Right.
And it was like one thing that they taught strongly was like you're not just fixing a problem. The problem might not just be the problem.
It's here. Jade's here.
One enemy remaining.
Thank you, Sage.
They might have a problem.
Nice.
They
Nice.
might have a problem that they don't even realize they have that you can help them.
That's my Boothang Ronin, by the way. Rome.
It is so
Switching sides.
I will still say,
Overtime.
I think Apple support is
That's my
one of the
E-kitten.
best systems I've ever
Rome.
seen, and working on the inside even it was amazing and great. And so I got better and better at it over time in learning how people think.
I'm doing great,
And I
guys.
definitely
Look at
used
my
that when
KD.
I started YouTube, but
I'm
so that was when I
radiant.
was 18. I was working at Apple. I saved up about $20,000 from working there for almost a year, and then I was like, I went to my parents and I was like, I'm gonna do YouTube. So I'm gonna quit my job, and I had not posted a single YouTube video. I was like, I'm gonna quit my job.
You guys know if they're
do
big.
YouTube. My parents were like, no, you don't do that. What, you have a stable job?
Get the cops back here. Yeah.
Exactly. And they're like, eventually they're like, okay, but if you do,
Well,
you run out of money, you're not coming back with us. Just so you know.
Okay.
We're not gonna, now, realistically,
hold on, I'm still here.
But I didn't think that at the time, of course. And
I headshot that one kid.
all or nothing.
Someone
SAD,
be
I'm
out.
So
gonna
I
be.
came with like I was like,
You need me to
Headshot fade to the wall.
What's it?
to actually have a strategy, have a plan.
Planning site.
Down
And then I was doing for like 6 months because I quit in January, and then there was 6 months until I offered my
Enemy
first
spotted A.
June
One enemy remaining.
2019.
Careful.
And so I quit my job in January.
Hey, it's in that corner, in that corner.
I'm coming with a plan, and while I was doing the side Minecraft project,
Guys. Yes, I love you for it, dude.
Wow! I did that, guys. I did
Y'all
that.
see me like just absolutely
we have.
destroy that fucking jet.
While also just literally studying. I used to say I read the books were.
Switching sides.
Not actually books. I
Match
read,
point.
I would watch YouTube videos.
You're banned.
From people. And I would
Yeah,
just
could I get the Vandal skin fart?
listen to the intro.
I'm trying to see what you got.
Makes this intro better than something? What makes Mr. Beast's intro better than
Any-
everyone else?
I'll fuck with it.
You know what? I'll notice things in descriptions and be like, that one's he's doing.
Would you like a shorty with that?
This is an example free to give out. I was like, oh, like Mr. Beast, like I don't know if he does it.
Let me see your shorty skin. Let me see your shorty skin.
No, we have to go A.
Gamey.
Right there, right there.
I was like, that's interesting. Why does he do that? Is there a reason why?
Brandon, you dropped the
Hey
Vandal.
guys, I don't have a gun.
Okay.
You know,
Right here,
it's
or
true, but
here.
like, maybe if you make it not a link, then people are less likely to like.
Guys,
turn
wait,
the
let's
video
go
off
A.
and, mess
Like,
with
we
their retention.
literally win A.
They click the link and then they leave the video and they come back and you just have 2 views that for like the less
On
retention.
tower.
And so I just
Yeah,
there's
jump
really
peek that if you're gonna peek it.
things like that.
Ah, Jet, you fucking suck. Not you, the other one.
Some of them are probably a little superstitious, and then it's like, oh, you know, like, does it really make that big of a difference? Like, at the end of the day,
Smoking's heaven for you guys.
You have the spike.
Get on A.
But if I follow all these
Mom's alone side.
You have the spike. Yeah, you have the spike.
Hey, on your right, Jet.
Go into it. I remember I was in a CC's Pizza parking sister.
Last
Right
player
here.
standing.
And she's like, so.
It's okay, guys. We'll draw.
Starting soon. Uploading video. I'm gonna be.
What if we all draw?
I was like, no, I am. She's like, you've told me this before. Yeah, but I didn't actually mean it.
Fucking hate.
I mean it now. I'm going to. I promise you.
Like, how do we feel about winning this?
Money in my savings. I had
Wait, do we think we could win this or no?
Was due.
Honestly, yeah, but I already drew.
They have to send your address to your first.
You're right.
Yeah, the pin.
Honestly, I'd rather take it safe because I'd rather just not fuck up.
To get my payment, and so I was
Yeah, we're drawing, boys. GG, guy. Get him in the next one.
I'm too embarrassed to call my parents. I
Fucking
don't
kidding
ask
me.
my parents for money. If I
It's okay, yo, guys. We'll win.
Will you lend me money? I promise you. Look, I just YouTube owes me $5,000 or whatever it was.
Honestly, bro.
I draw.
Oh, get like 4 RR and rank back up.
But then I got the slip in time, and
I'm not trying to be silver anymore, guys.
Week.
I was fucking flat last time.
I think this crazy thing of like when you say is it planned? Like if I had that
Bronze anymore, guys.
I
was diamond.
And that was delayed by 1 month. I probably would have just gone back to Apple and like, hey,
I'm gonna smoke. I'm gonna suck for you. I'm gonna suck for you.
You gonna suck me, dude? What?
No. I was gonna suck main.
Interesting. Okay, so
yeah, where are we feeling? Yeah.
They're coming A apparently.
Yeah, it's all good. The pursuit of
these guys are brain dead, dude. Hello.
is always interesting.
Who goes A?
Because like I was just having a conversation with my mom.
Not us.
It's kind of like, at least
But I
for
think
me,
they
this,
were
like,
rotating now.
desire
I know.
Validation and for other people to
Or not sight. Yeah, wait, let's go back.
The other two, they were mid.
You were just mentioning of what you shared with us. You went through.
I heard another one mid, I think. Yeah, 2 mid.
I have full. So we can play safe with my ult.
Good heal.
Bomb down B main.
Spike down
B.
All they ask is, why are
One
you?
enemy remaining.
That's what the mask is. That's the whole point. But that's what the whole point of the mask is. You tell me about how
the best lyricist in the history.
Spike spotted B.
Dude, it's pretty good. Honestly, I thought like we wrote that down because we were like, that's pretty good lyrics.
Can't use this yet.
Stay.
I think that a lot of people.
Can't use this yet.
Leave.
A lot of the lyrics.
Come back.
I actually,
30 seconds
I think
left.
everyone that's in art looks back on their old
Just
stuff.
say,
and cringes.
you
So
back
I
the
look
fuck
back and
up.
go, "Oh, cringy."
You got
I
it,
know what I was
Devin.
trying to say, but I know how. Maybe
Watch
I
our
say
back,
it
Sage.
differently
Watch our
now.
back.
Yeah, sure.
Which
You
is so
got it,
funny. I
Devin.
do that with videos,
I
with
got
writing,
it.
everything. You look back and go, oh, that old video.
Heaven.
So bad.
Back up. Back up.
I
We
got
win.
Turret. The jet is.
We win.
10 seconds left.
You guys can die.
Yeah, it's
Ready?
Jet.
Oh. Okay, yeah, nice Jet. Good killing Spike. Good job, Reyna, for killing the Spike. It's okay,
Shut
though.
up. No one
Not
cares.
bad.
He's smurfing
I
in a
care.
bronze.
I care. Don't worry, Reyna. I love you.
He's smurfing in a bronze altogether.
Shut up.
He's
I
doing
love you,
everything.
Reyna. I love you.
Dude, I'm boosting this kid, alright? He texted me, can you boost me? So I said
I
yes.
feel like
Actually, I said, can you please?
Rank, are you on
come
your
in the
main?
game?
Wait, can I get a
already escaped. Like I feel like you're in a different
Vandal skin? We are going A. We are going A. Yeah,
different rules. It's, whatever you want it to be. And in gaming, it's the
we
same.
are going A. We are not going B.
It's your own.
We are helping roam A.
You can do whatever you want. Talk to whoever
Look,
you want.
boom.
You can choose the characters. You know, if I don't want to have my neighbor to be different, and if I'm online, I have an online friend. No, I can not talk to that person and ignore them. They're not my neighbor. I can change my neighbor and make it someone
Careful,
different. So
feeling
I feel like I looked at gaming and also writing in the same way as this escape from sadness, I guess. And so when I was going through depression,
Did we get smoke, Evan?
I don't. Well, I can now. I can now.
I think you.
like 16 and 17.
Yeah.
Those were my
Whoa.
There's one CT.
maybe 15.
Can you watch my back?
That's so unlucky.
Last player standing.
Oh, NT, guys, NT.
I literally during those 2
It's
years
not
I
playing
wrote
to be, it's playing behind the.
I coded a two
That's
massive
fine.
Minecraft networks that still and
Just draw.
Okay, now we draw.
I don't feel like drawing. We need to win, guys.
Yeah, no, we could win.
Switching
No, we're not.
sides.
Not drawing. We're not drawing.
like
And in control.
Ah,
I didn't draw. I didn't do it.
No,
I
it's
swear.
okay.
I want to have this. I want to do this.
It's gotta be Guavo, dude.
Good game. I'm gonna have fun with that. And I'm gonna be happy about that because that's what it was. And so that's why whenever I say, oh, I was this bratty, I was such a bad kid, and I did all these stupid things to try and get the internet. But to me, it was like, it was the end of the world. You took away the internet from me. This was like this was my life. This was my escape from my sadness. You're just plunging me into the sad. And I was hated my parents, and I had such a bad relationship with my mom and my dad, and especially my dad back then. We were into it, and we were at each other's throats all the time. He was, if you were looking back on it, it was mostly me at his throat and him just being like, stop being such an idiot. Like, not that, but, you know.
Sure.
And so, yeah, but I feel like that's why it really was such a thing. It was like, you're ripping my like heart out. You're ripping this thing. And it is an addiction as well. Like, just to go back and admit that, like, I was so addicted. Like, you can get addicted to almost anything, obviously, not just drugs or whatever. But I feel like with I was addicted, but luckily it ended up the fact that I spent all that time doing all those things that improved my life massively. So I'm almost thankful for the experiences that I had. And I was able to learn a lot from the things I did wrong and the things I did right. And then also just from, you know, being sad, I guess, made me happier now because I'm able to appreciate the fact that I wasn't always happy. And now I feel like I am almost always happy now. And not even just because of my circumstances. I was this way probably since I was 18 or since I was maybe 17 and a half after I kind of had, not everyone has this. And there's obviously a million different experiences with depression and with sadness. And I kind of had a realization at one point where I was like, I'm in control of my life and I need to, like, this is, as much as writing is my own world and gaming is my own world, like, my brain is my, like, my castle. My brain is my own world. Like, if I tell myself, it's like the placebo effect. If I tell myself something enough, it can be, I can make it true. I can make it true. I'm the best, most awesome, you know, most handsome, you know, strongest, whatever guy in the world. And I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna be a, you know, billionaire, you know, whatever. And I think that that's something that I said as a kid so much of just these little statements of, I'm gonna be successful. I'm gonna be an author. I'm gonna be a YouTuber. I'm gonna be this as these things. Even getting in fights. Like, I had a fight with my older sister when it was over college, and my parents were incredibly responsible parents, and they had like college packages that for all of us. There's like a Florida, I think it's in Florida, you can do where you can like prepay over time for college, and then you get into whatever university you want or something like that. And so they had that for me. And so it was a conversation when I was like 17 where they're like, hey, we have this for you, and we want you to college. And my sister was there, and I was saying, I'm not going to college, so thank you, but no thank you. And my sister was like, you are such an idiot, like, you're going to be homeless in 3 years. My parents were not saying that. They were saying, okay, that's fine, we respect whatever you want to do. Because like I said, at that time I was much more, I was much more adult then than I was now, but I still had a lot of childish tendencies. And I remember saying it, one of the cockiest things probably I'd ever said when I was like, Larry, no, I'll be making more money than you in 10 years, whatever, and you'll be stuck in college debt. And I was like, like, all right, well, I don't know how nice or true that was, but it was that mindset of like confidence, not to the level of being outwardly talking to everybody, being like, no, I'm better than you or something, but being like with myself, like, no, don't tell me I have to go to college. Don't tell me I have to do this. I'm going to find my own way to do what I want to do, and I'm going to make it happen.
Create my own reality.
Yeah. You have to believe it for yourself. No one else is going to believe
Match
it for you.
found.
You're right.
You have to believe in yourself. I had, this is a very, very short thing, but I feel like it's an interesting life thing. I realized at some point, I was like, I think I'm very like creatively intelligent. I don't think I'm very like book smart. I'm terrible at math. I'm not, I don't know my history that well. I'm not great at science, all these subjects. But I'm great at talking to people, and I'm great at understanding people, and I'm great at, exuding like confidence and energy and happiness. And I feel like I realized at some point, probably around when I was like 17, I was like, that's almost more important than anything else, because if you can go into, like, as an example, you can be the smartest person in the world and sit down and you're my interviewer and you ask me questions and I'm unsure, I answer them poorly, whatever. Sure. Versus I could come into the room of the interview and I could convince you of whatever. I could convince you, I'm whatever. And I also did that when I interviewed for Apple, in that, like, I was totally underqualified. I did not, when I went to that interview, I was totally underqualified. But I was able to walk my way around the interview very well. And I'm sure they weren't naive, and they probably realized I was puffing myself up a little bit and whatever. But at the end of the day, I think that it was that I was also willing to admit when I didn't know something, or just be like, oh no, but you know what I would, they'd say, what would you do in this situation? Instead of being like, oh, I'd tell them the problem, be like, oh, well, I don't know the answer to that. Therefore,
Choose
I would
your
Google it, and I would
agent.
try and figure out,
Yeah,
you know, I would
yeah.
use Reddit or whatever. And I think it's just a weird answer to hear. And I answer that question a lot when they were like, "How would you fix this problem?" Like, well, I'd probably go on Reddit.
Choo-choo.
And then they're sitting there like,
it's like
"This
an
is an
honest
Apple
answer.
interview. What do you mean you go on a Reddit?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, that's what I would do." And guess what? I'd probably solve it faster than the average person
Right.
because I can type
That's
fast and
interesting. Yeah.
whatever.
Do you think that honesty and that confidence, that fake it till you make it, is a big part of why your first YouTube video took off? Because seldom does a first YouTube video take off, let alone someone like you under pressure
Yeah.
who's like, I'm going all in.
Yeah, I will say, I think it's, I always say, oh, my first video, but it's slightly misleading. So just to like give context, I've been uploading YouTube videos since I was like a little kid. Like I did like these like kid versus wild videos where like I was in the forest with my friends when I was like 10 and 11.
Like you were vlogging, like
Yeah. I did like I had this vlog series where I like talked about like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and then at some point I went through a phase where I wanted to be an editor, so I started editing, and I edited like montages of like football players, and then I went into like song
Anyone I catch
parodies at some
slacking
point.
off has to
And
join
I
my
kind of went through all
morning
these
run
different phases as a
tomorrow.
YouTuber.
Wake ups at
and
4.
and one of them
Sound
was
good?
on my channel I use now, but it was branded as a different name. It was Dream Traps, and it was back in like 2013. And I did Minecraft like traps. Like I would trick other players into like falling into some crazy thing, and those were my videos. And yeah, actually that channel I ran with Sapnap. He had a different name at the time. We ran this channel together. It was called Dream Traps. It was a group channel. And then at one point I was like, when I decided I was going to do YouTube, when I came back, I was like, I did everything wrong, and I want to do things right. And so I was like, I want somebody to watch the videos on my channel now and be like, oh. And not get recommended an old video and be like, oh, this guy's kind of trash. And so for the longest time, I started uploading. I actually uploaded one video.
That's some aiming.
I think I've ever said this. It was like 6 months or 5 months something before my first video I ever uploaded as Dream. Or not 6 months. It was probably like 3 months. And it was I don't even remember what it was exactly. It was a video on a server I was a coder on. And it did terribly. It flopped. And I just deleted it and went, I'm trying again. I learned from that. I know what I did wrong. I think this is what people said in the comments. This is what I feel like I can do better. And it also solidified. I was like, okay, I'm not ready yet. So I took another month or two to actually more and be like, how can I learn what I did wrong? Mr. Beast had videos up from when he was, playing. Next. And a lot of people keep their stuff.
Last
up.
player
I see a lot of people
standing.
talk about like, oh, it's bad to remove your old stuff. Like, leave it up. People want to see where you came from. And I agree with that. But at the same time, I was like, I really wanted to.
Spike planted.
I wanted to be like, hey, no, this is me. This does not represent how I view myself right now. I want to be viewed this certain way. And so here's my new brand. So I made my channel icon.
One enemy remaining.
I was like, how can I make it different than someone else? Because I said this on camera to you. One of the things I think advice,
oh dear.
I can ever give someone in anything, in YouTube specifically, is just you have to do something that is different than someone has done. Or if you're taking inspiration from someone, you're gonna see a Mr. Beast video and be like, I want to do that something like that, Mr. Beast. That's perfectly fine. You're like, how can I? What do you do wrong? Sure,
Turn my banger black, bro.
He does that himself to every single video. He'll go back and watch through, I'm sure, and be like,
it tastes like ass.
own video. So doing that to other people and doing it to yourself is like really important. And I feel like I did that, and I came up with, I was like, okay, how can I make it different for my channel branding? I was like, what if I just made my channel branding like kind of crappy? I just made it kind of like, it looks like I didn't try. And so I do like a little smile guy. And then I was like, how else can I get stand out? I was like, what if I just use like a repulsive color? I just used the most standout color. So I went into pink dye, and I picked like Piss Green, and went on my channel.
Playing top mid.
Bro, no way she headshot me twice in the classic. The luck is 65.
I got so many people at the time.
He's hit 65, bro. Don't be scared of it.
One enemy remaining. Spike down, attacker spawn.
You can't, whatever. But I was like, but it's so simple. It's so easy to spread. It's so unique, and it also captures everything that I love about myself, everything that I love about the world, and that it's a dream. Dream is the word dream. I want everything I do to feel like that. To feel like the word dream. Like you have your own world. You have everything you can do, and so. I thought, I was like, no, I don't care if you can't Google it. Eventually, if I'm big enough, you can. You'll look up dream and pop me up instead of the definition of the word or whatever.
It's all in the line of like creating your own reality.
Yes.
Even the branding, right? It's like a smiley face. Like I can create my own.
Yeah, they're there.
Even pre-face reveal.
Yeah.
It's like a voice and an image and a concept.
I think with the name, it reminds me a lot of Apple. Like that's something that I'm pretty sure Apple also dealt with. Like you can't choose the name Apple, right, and expect to launch a tech company off of that name because people know it as a fruit.
Yeah.
Like truly, I think that's something that
wasn't it because it was originally? Well, I guess it was. They had Macintosh. It was like that was a company, right? Was that what they started as Macintosh? Then became Apple. Or do you know?
Well, I think Steve Jobs wanted it to be something that was accessible, like a household item, not something like Microsoft that people don't understand, like what Microsoft is or what that means. But I remember it was either in the book that was written about Steve Jobs' life or in one of the movies, talking about that idea that like
Nice pick.
pushback.
Spike top mid.
You can't pick an accessible name.
So it's
Bro, they're bad. Oh my god, Sky.
Right now, and my best friends for the longest time, George Not Found and Sapnap. They both went under different names, and we were friends for a very long time. And when my first video blew up, and then I was okay. This could just be one and whatever. I think I know what I'm doing. I think I have a good strategy, but I'm gonna apply it. I'm doing well. I went to first George, and then
In our spawn?
I was like, hey, I think I cracked the code to YouTube. I think I know
Spike
how
planted.
whatever. But I was like, but I need you.
Planted B.
To be a part of it, and I need Sapnap to be a part of it. And so I went to him and I was like, if I like, if I have a plan.
Last player standing.
And you follow it, like, will you follow it to a T, essentially? And we follow it together. We put it together. And he was like, yes. And we sat there. I came up with the name George Not Found and Sapnap for them.
Oh,
and it was we sat there together coming up with them. But it was we had the rules for the name. So I was like, okay, here's the rules. The rules are one, short, too long. George Not Found was like as long as it could like possibly be. If you can think of a single misspelling where someone can hear it vocally and misspell it, then rule it out.
You're up.
And so there were so many names we went through where it was like, they can put an E there instead of an A, or they can put a C there instead of an S, or whatever. And I was like, no, I want you to be able to say your name out loud and have no one mishear it, no one be able to say it's not. And I was like, the other rule is you have to be able to get on every platform. And that was more for me. I was like, God, we can't, I can't, whatever. And then I was like, and the final thing is that you have to be able to have some kind of meaning behind it. It has to have some meaningful thing to you. To me, dream is important, and so we have to make it something meaningful. It can't just be, we can't just go, oh, I'm gonna name it, some random collection of names or whatever. And so how we came to Sapnap was I flipped his old username, which was Pandas. I flipped it upside down, and after it was upside down, I flipped it sideways, like the other way. So it was a P instead, or upside down. Sapnap instead of a D in Pandas, it was a P.
Oh, wow.
Sapnap. How do you misspell it? He was like, sure.
Spike planted.
He was like, oh, because I can think of like branding with it. I'll have like a little monocle. Scanning ahead, which is funny because he never did anything with a monocle or anything like that. It would how the world would be different if Sir George existed. But we came to Jordan. I was looking for
one enemy remaining.
Sir George or something like that. It came on the Not Found. What if it's just George Not Found? I was like, you're a coder, it has meaning to you because you code, you have websites. And so we ran with that.
Deadlock was AFK that round.
Right blueprint. Otherwise, everyone would do it if there was like this is the right way to do it. But I think there are so many things you can do to increase the chances of you being successful.
Yeah, that's just good branding.
Yeah. So I laid those things out, and there was one of them. Another thing that I said to them, which still it stands very much to this day, is that we are good friends, and that we will be friends. We will stay friends. We will stay together. Because one of the biggest things that actually that can hurt like a channel is like you changing the heart behind it. And I was like, if we're gonna do stuff together and you're gonna be in all my videos, we're gonna be in all each other's videos, we have to know we actually we have to know. So we had this conversation where we were like, do we like love each other? Do we love each other or not?
Got some
we are, we're like family. We are sticking together in this no matter what. We will work out everything thick and thin and make sure we stay together.
I've got your trail.
Let's be less associated. Let's do our own thing a little bit more than being a team. And I was like, even this plan will be.
Spike down B. One enemy remaining.
You can't take parts of it away, otherwise you lose it all.
Yeah, they're in there.
Sounds like a conversation we had at the beginning or One Direction. They like each other.
I had no idea. This is so funny. It's so funny. I had no idea. It was like One Direction being being formed. I didn't know it was like
it was
formed by them. They have
That's
like
right.
it was like Simon Cowell or whatever. I saw that and I thought it was like a troll, like parody thing.
No one
I was sitting there like, is this real?
Yeah,
no one. What?
But that friendship is so important. Like, and I think because creating is a lonely career and it can be isolating. You know, Samir and I think we've set off.
I can buy someone. Gonna have full next round.
If it was just one of us.
Yeah, we took it a step further and had the channel together, right?
I mean, I would not be just to say. People have, that's an air tag on my mask that's going off.
Whoa.
Okay. I think
someone's trying to find you.
Oh.
Someone trying to find you?
No, it's like a glitch happens now and then. I think it's like there's
someone about to show up here. Are the police coming? Do your parents call the police?
There's like a piece of it. I think it presses up against it or something.
Summon tiles.
Would you like this one?
See, I mean, I do think like genuinely, I can 100% confidence that if we had decided to go with the team and I had done almost everything with them throughout the years, that like there's been so many different times where I may have just called it quits or been like, hey, I'm successful. I'm gonna go and do now that I have money or whatever. I'm gonna go and just write in my free time. Or I'm gonna go.
Spike down mid.
I'm also in it. I'm not just in it for me. I'm in it for them. I'm in it for my family.
Last player standing.
So this strategy clearly panned out, right? And it panned out really quickly. You know, your first or your second video blew up,
which was totally luck. Totally. I mean, yeah, the strategy was not, but it's like there's another quote that actually my dad used to say a lot.
Yeah.
He's a sports guy, and so he coached me in sports and stuff, and he'd always say like I'd say, oh, I was just lucky shots, and he'd be like, well, it's like no, luck is a combination of preparation and opportunity.
Yeah.
So, yes, it could be lucky, but at the same time, you know, it doesn't mean you can't just like expect luck to come. But yeah, so the fact that it was so quick was definitely luck and had a lot to do with the COVID pandemic.
Some maybe tiles.
Everyone went inside, and what are you gonna do when you're inside? You're gonna watch YouTube or watch live stream. So I can attribute how fast it was. That timing. But obviously, yeah, it did pan out, and there was a lot of luck and a lot of strategy and a lot of
such a bitch.
Stuff that popped up randomly that were like, oh, this works out.
It was 500 days between 1 million subscribers at the end of 20 million.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is insane. I was by someone or something and being like,
got Spike B.
Spike down B. Last player standing.
140 Sky and 90 Euro. They're all low.
I'm gonna wake up. This is gonna be fake. This is not how this happened. It was such a quick transition that I never really got to go through the phase of being like a mini celebrity to being like it was just like no one knew me and then everyone knew me and I was the face of YouTube for a year or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting to think about that fact that I never and it's the same way where like I never got that experience because especially with faces. I only
30 seconds left.
That was my max. I went from never having been approached by anyone ever in public to literally not being able to leave my house without going into 7-Eleven and having. So
how did people know it was you?
No, I'm saying after the face reveal.
Oh, after face reveal.
So yeah, after the face reveal, it was very much. I mean, I had a couple like scary moments before the face reveal. Like I had one person that was delivering a mattress that was like, he's like, "Do you do YouTube?" And I was like, "No, why?" He's like, "You just sound familiar," and I was like,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I no one before I did the face reveal did, but then after I did, it was like I
Yeah.
Would go outside and the street. And it's one of the things where I actually it was weird for the first like day or two, and then I adjusted to it. But I had this like this moment where there was like a day or two where like it felt really weird going anywhere because like, even the people who didn't recognize
Sky
me,
at least B.
I could sometimes see somebody whisper and be like, oh my god, are they talking about me? I didn't have the experience of knowing what it was like to kind of walk around in public.
Spike down mid.
But now I'm okay with it. I've accepted it and just like, oh yeah.
Sky's B main close.
Sometimes it bothers me more if I know someone they don't say anything.
Any of you?
Like, oh my god, like I'm like 99% sure this guy that's sitting next to me at dinner knows me. They're not saying anything, so I'm constantly, oh my god, are they gonna take a picture of me?
Oh,
do I need to watch? Do I need to make sure I don't pick my nose? Whatever.
Still there. Last on B main still.
Even I've had an experience where I've been out to dinner with my partner, and then after I'll get a comment on the channel that's like, hey, I didn't want to say anything, but I was right there. At least experience.
Like, did I say something?
You're like, oh, we were kind of having like a serious conversation about our relationship
Yeah.
and family.
Yeah.
and
They
stuff.
demand
Like,
a fight.
whoa, I wish I
Who are we
knew
to
that you
disobey?
were
Yeah.
seated right next to me.
Yeah.
Can I
I'll
get a
have that,
drop?
and it's to me it's
Thanks.
funnier because like I keep obviously my family and like relationships and whatever
problem.
separate, very separate from like YouTube and like
Satchel
and those, my family or you know whatever and so sometimes when I'm out in public 'cause I don't mind I'll still go out in public with my family. I'll still go out in public
Yeah.
with people, friends, you whatever. But like when I notice that when I'm with like my
Satchel
family,
out.
people I get people coming up to me way less than when I'm with
Nothing, Tiles. Be careful.
even people that they don't recognize, like I'm with George, they don't recognize George. Come to me, oh my god, Dream, take a picture. Whereas I'm with like my mom or my dad.
There is someone actually B. There's one lacking
That's
behind.
his mom or that's his dad. That's like, you know, someone he's with or whatever. And then they don't come up, and I'm like, so then it makes me paranoid. So it makes me more paranoid.
One enemy remaining.
I can tell my mom to go away or whatever.
Don't know where the one B went. Oh, top mid.
On that rise.
One
to,
enemy
like, just
remaining.
Mega
Nice.
kind of high viewership, just like massive notoriety on YouTube. I'm so curious about what makes a Dream video so popular, because some of your videos have in the hundreds of millions of views. Like, what are the ingredients that make a Dream video that popular?
I think that I've gone in obviously like phases of growth, and I've posted a lot of videos. I think genuinely like, every video right now I'm pretty proud of. I think they're good videos, even the ones that I'm like, my mic was kind of bad there, or this was a dumb joke or whatever. But I think that they all have something very similar, and that I kept with every series and every video. I kept improving. And two, I kept trying to do
Some Tiles.
new, something different that someone hadn't done, or something.
Yoder's by me on site B. Alright, yeah.
And I think you mentioned
I've got your
Master.
trail.
That song, the big point of that song.
Arena ulted B site. They have B site.
Escapism kind of different from Mask. It was also about my experience with ADHD, which
Spike planted.
affected my life massively.
Oh, that's sneaking up on me. That's scary.
Extreme intent.
Full tag 80, full tag 80.
One enemy remaining.
Nice job.
I'm reading a book every single day and just out from morning to night, whatever. I wouldn't enjoy doing YouTube at the time. And I did that with different like YouTube series. Like I would get into a YouTube series like I love this until I don't.
Love
Okay,
explosions.
I'll find something new. But I think that the biggest component for me was
Oh,
everything I did,
surrounded by
I
minha
truly had
família.
passion behind. It was
We
something that
won't
I
lose.
actually did genuinely enjoy, something I wanted to do. It was not me going, hey, this could blow up on YouTube. It was me going, hey, this is a fun thing for me and my friends to play, or this is a fun topic for me to talk about, or this is a fun video for me to edit, or this is going to be funny, or whatever. So I think that's kind of one component, is just genuinely, actually having meaning behind your videos, which goes into like the name thing. Meaning behind your name. That's important, even though it seems not important, it is important. I think another one was, again, doing things different. So you can take the same concept and do it slightly differently. So one thing I did was like,
Someone's Tiles.
I took a pretty simple concept of like speedrunning Minecraft, which became my biggest series of Manhunt, and I was like, well, what if someone was trying to stop me? It's kind of just an interesting thing. I googled it and I tried to find if anyone had done
Someone's
that.
still
I found
Tiles.
one video
They
of,
popped out mid.
Super Mario Brothers or something having something kind of similar, and it did okay. I think the video was decent. I was like, hey, but no one's like done this concept, but it seems so simple.
One
you're
enemy
speedrunning games,
remaining.
which is a super popular thing, and someone's like trying to fight you, which is also a super popular kind of.
So for a non-gaming audience, speedrunning is you're trying to beat the game as fast as possible.
You're trying to complete the goal of the game as quickly as you possibly can.
And then the manhunt part is a new character or friend is trying to kill you.
They're trying to slow you down and make so you can't stop you from beating it. So it's like, there's someone that's trying to be your detriment. They're trying to be your downfall.
That's just good storytelling too, right? It's like main character
Last
has an
round
objective.
before the
Here's
switch.
the obstacle. You know,
and then you introduce what actually took it off. So the first Manhunt video actually it did okay. I did not go into that thinking this is going to be this massive series, but I saw the potential after we did it. I was like, wow, that was fun. That was super fun. I watched the video back and I was like, this is epic. When I was editing it, I actually was able to use music that I hadn't used before. I was like, this is actually interesting. I'm using music that I don't typically hear in Minecraft like gameplay. Like I was using more intense, like kind of like opera music or something or stuff like that. And I used something like that. I only used
Alright, multi-G.
Easy. I didn't think I could do that.
which ended up being almost all
It's the
music.
first time I tried.
It
Really?
was not a great video, but the concept was unique, and then the music made it feel more intense than it was when there were certain moments and stuff. And then I edited in a way where I cut out I cut things in almost like a misleading way. Like I cut things around, I move things around, and I'm kind of notorious for like making it seem like something is true that's not in the video. It's where like you can feel like I'm about to die, when in reality, if you watch the raw footage, you're like, oh, he was not even close to dying. He was like, he was fine, or he had some reason to believe that he was gonna be fine. And so I realized after that first video that I did a crappy job at it. The editing was okay. It was, you know, the concept we had, the video wasn't that great, but I realized the potential it had. And so I did it, you know, 5-6 times, kind of learning, and I you know, trained and became a better Minecraft player as well, kind of in that process. And then I introduced, going back to what you said about like two awesome things.
Yeah.
There's the third one, which is you know, just a worldwide understandable thing, an underdog. Like if you have an underdog. So all I did was I was like, what if I did the same thing, but it's 2 people trying to stop me? So then the concept just becomes, you know, same thing, Minecraft speedrunner versus 2 people instead of 1 person. And it's the exact same concept, but all of a sudden now you have someone to root for. Now you have a reason why you go, not only, you know, I'm trying to beat the game, someone's trying to stop me, but here's why it's hard. Because there's 2 of them and there's 1 of me.
Oh my god, that's so interesting.
Those are really easy optics.
Yeah.
It's such an easy thing. Anyone can see that thumbnail, see 2 people and 1 person below and be like, which I used almost every single video, which Mr. Beast actually like called me one time and he was like, why do you use this almost the same thumbnail on everyone? And how does it work? How does it keep getting the views? I was like, I think it's just because no one was doing what I was doing. And so when they saw that thumbnail or a very similar, I would change certain things just to make it so you would be like, oh, that's different. That you knew that was Dream.
There was a consistency.
This is Dream. This is a Dream video. Wow, I want to watch this one.
You know, that's the thing that's so important is like brands are consistent. You know, at a glance, you can tell if it's Dream. Right, and that's like from your face, your logo. Like, there's so much about you. The lime green.
I made my Minecraft character.
Yeah.
You can customize it. Like almost full body lime green, and then like a little thing.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons for that was I was like, it like just stands out so much. You see me in, like when I was small, you'd see me in a thumbnail with other YouTubers, and you would just see the green blob that's there instead of the other people because they just look like other Minecraft guys. And everyone was like, why do you have this skin? It doesn't even look like a Minecraft skin. Well, because it looks ridiculous. And you look at it and go, wow.
Yeah.
So as your viewership really starts to take off, Manhunt series is taking off, what does your operation look like from a business perspective? Like, is there a moment when lots of money starts coming in?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. I think that obviously my first paycheck I ever got obviously was right before my rent. But I don't remember a moment where it was like, I think it went from 0 to 100 so quickly that I never had that moment where it was like, oh my God, I'm rich. Like that. There was never that. It was just kind of like, this is working. And then it was this constant fear of losing. It was this constant fear of, yeah, I had made this month, but like this could be gone. So I need to grind my ass off to make sure that it's not this next month that it's gone. And so I never really had that moment, I guess. And my operation's always kind of been, it still is. It's definitely grown a lot more now. Like I still have edited every video that's ever been posted on my channel myself.
Oh, wow.
And I plan on doing that on my main channel at least for the foreseeable future. I've started branching out into, we should get an editor for my second channel, an editor for shorts and stuff like that. Because I definitely don't have the time anymore to do stuff like that. But like I coded the plugins for the longest time on my channel. Me and George, we coded stuff until we hired a friend
Match
of ours
found.
with and coded stuff with. And so the stuff we really needed was like thumbnails to be made. We photoshopped. Me and George would sit there and Photoshop them together. The editing I did. And then the video concepts we came up with, and then the code to make them work, we coded. And so it was like, the operation was really just like us spending every single day just grinding and doing it. I think that the fact that like we did that, it made it more unique to us and made it so we had an advantage over other YouTubers. And that like, you know, we wanted to do something in Minecraft. We didn't have to, you know, reach out to somebody and pay.
Music playing. What'd you say?
Let's code it. Let's make it happen. And so for a lot of my first videos, we did crazy things like a tornado into Minecraft or whatever.
Hey, just play with your last game, bro.
Put this in and no one else can do it because they can't code.
I don't know. I might have played No Name before.
So was there though, like, I've heard you say,
why are you
when someone asks you what you do and they aren't familiar with YouTube, you say, I'm in advertising.
I used to say that
which I think is such it's what Colin and I said, and I still say something. If someone's completely unfamiliar, I'm like, I'm in the advertising business.
Yeah.
So was that for you, like, initially the money was all from AdSense? You start doing brand deals, like.
Race, who are you queued up with?
Yeah, I mean, it was all
no one, but like, oh shit, we all are at that. I guess the other two are queued up together. No,
I'm solo. I'm alone.
No, hear me out. No, he's just like, he's a higher rank than all of us, right? No, he's just a higher rank than all of us.
That was actually
he's in our rank because he's not actually that good.
Once, twice a week or something, and with the
well, I'm plat. I'm plat 3.
$20 or whatever, you could have all of them.
Wait. Am I just doing good because I'm only go 1?
Oh, maybe you're doing good.
It was one of my biggest revenue streams, actually.
Do you remember like the first AdSense check you got where you were like, holy shit? Like, was there an amount that you were just like, oh my god?
I think it was $1 million. It was over $1 million.
Holy shit! In 1 month?
Yes.
Oh my god, dude.
I think that month, obviously, I was like, that is absurd. To be able to play Minecraft and make Minecraft videos and get a check in the mail that is $1 million and be like, wow, that is just incredible. Now, that was not a common occurrence, but
Sure, but that's crazy.
But it did
dude.
happen.
Yeah. And what was your relationship to money growing up? Like as a kid in your family, like what is your relationship to money?
Wait,
Like,
my
that
peak
$1
is
million
over
can
3.
mean a lot of different things based
Bro,
on your relationship.
but I finally broke
Same.
I feel like I
this account.
Am I doing that bad?
Like, my family's.
Am I just doing that or what? I was plat. Like I was
Yeah, I
plat
mean,
3.
I guess you guys must be doing bad.
There was when the recession hit, we moved and stuff where they.
Your peak was diamond too. Dude, this account's never made it out of. This account's never made it to silver. I played on this account. I played on this account since fucking Act 1. I've never made it past silver. But I have 2 other accounts that were plat, but now they're banned for 2 years. So.
Christmases were still the same, whatever, and everything was fine.
Wait, so that means you're gonna carry us.
I always had to.
I don't know about that. I'm not right
Go to movies or whatever. Maybe we'll give you $5, but if you want candy or something, drink or you want to buy a game or whatever, you have to work for it. And they gave me avenues to do that.
Spike planted.
Yeah, whatever. But I remember the first time I
Nice try.
like this is not money that I wanted to spend this money. It was
Last player standing.
divided into my entire family. My siblings, I had $10,000 to my mom, to my dad, to my sister.
I just fucking whiffed on my right click and then whiffed on
that.
Ellen.
Okay, I'm at the point where I'm successful enough where if I lose it all, I'm gonna feel like an idiot. I'm gonna feel like I lost
Why
it all.
Neon?
I'm a failure, whatever. But I feel like if I
No, well, you were raised last game, weren't you?
To my family, that I could risk it all.
Bro, I don't know, dude. I literally only play Reyna. You can't tell by my name. But
Oh,
I don't know. I used.
give it to you.
I don't know. You was like hovering on it. So.
That was one of the first. That was one of the first.
Oh, no, I mean this, dude. If you're the asshole, give it.
I've given up my ways. I used to throw a lot, but you know, new person.
I continued to do that for a very long time with stuff like that. Like one of the.
Huh?
After I got that.
What'd you just say?
Enemy spotted B.
He called your ass.
Get him.
Paying for a while and paid it off. And I was like, you know what? Here we go. And my grandma cried and said, I told you you were gonna, you know. And she used to. My grandma used to joke and say like.
No, he had the tracking. I was really hoping it was only the sheriff.
That's making it. That's wild.
3 on B.
I'm sure your family was just like, or even today, I'm sure they're planted. Oh my God, you did the thing that you said you were gonna do, probably at a scale that is unimaginable.
Yeah.
Last player standing.
One of
Jesus.
Dad, especially given that we didn't used to have.
It's okay, guys. Collect yourselves. It's not rushing.
Hooray.
Hey, bro, you got aim.
When I started.
Said you have aim,
But I
man.
wasn't for
You got
a period of time. I'll be able to get a text and say, proud of you.
No, I said you have aim.
You inspire me so much because you.
Yeah, I'm gonna aim. What's that?
I mean, like, getting a text like that from like a family member or something is really makes me think. Okay, well, what's the impact I'm having on people that aren't my family?
That's among the spike.
You know, we've seen you at VidCon before, and the crowd.
How did we forget
young,
this?
Someone be the. Hey, Reyna, your bomb fight. Go get it.
and they're large.
Wait, what?
Curious for you.
Shut the fuck up and get it.
Yeah.
I feel like. I remember the first.
So isn't, bro. He was on the left side.
I'm out of here.
Number 30 million or whatever. Of course.
So is on C side.
That's even just being able to be like, oh, it's in the random area in Alabama on a road trip, walking into a 7-Eleven, and there's some older guy being like, hey.
Killjoy was C, but might be C.
Damn, Killjoy's a little crazy.
or like the most rabid.
One enemy remaining.
Like
He wasn't JoJo's right there. You can go away.
Saw like
I said we go away.
to like Beetle Mania.
Yeah, she's like
Go through B.
CB. Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, fuck.
Anyone who's completely unfamiliar
Yeah, I'm a little confused there too. Which is moving.
what do you think has made it have this culture?
I saw you kill the other person. I didn't think she crossed.
Sure, yeah, I think.
No, she crossed before. I just saw it.
Now,
But
it's almost a show. It was a show almost. The best way to describe it is it was a live show that you could watch the perspective.
you don't gotta give me a reason anymore. Just show the
That's
boss.
kind of the best way to describe it. But to break it down to what it actually is, it was a Twitch stream from a different perspective. People like me or my friends or whatever playing Minecraft and role playing live.
Yo, are you
I'm forgetting I could be doing these dumb plays the higher up I get.
Kind of role play them, but there was sometimes things would change when we improv.
Yes.
And so it was live on Twitch. So that's kind of what it was. So I like to relate it to like it was like a
Yeah, no, KJ's acting a little wonky, bro. She's over here doing bouncy peaks and all that. I don't like it.
Rowena is good. Someone should push with
I
me.
think that was the biggest thing that intrigued people about being like, wow, this is like this is a very very interesting like concept. And then I think that the fact that there was
Window
for so long and really being like personal. I think the biggest reason that I feel like at least I feel like I didn't find my audience found me. And I feel like the reason I've just been genuine, I guess. I think that people criticize me for a long time. I get a lot less now.
Oh my god, bro.
Hold on. You're treating your fans like they're your friends or something. That's kind of what that is. And in my mind, it's like
I threw that, bro. I'm so sorry.
No, we still got it.
They are people that are behind that screen, behind that number. There is a person that has a life.
Literally, bro. How'd I whip that?
Yo, Race.
How'd I whip that?
I didn't see
I
anything.
looked at it in my mind. I also had experience kind of with being like stan or being like a massive fan for when I was a kid of like
I don't
sports.
care,
Like,
bro.
I was,
Just
like,
play
I
your
had
game.
sports
Genuinely play your
jerseys,
game.
I
I
was like the
didn't care.
biggest fan of the Oklahoma Sooners and
Yeah.
like, their quarterback. I
Bottom
had like,
right.
pictures of him on my wall, and so it's like people.
Which quarterback?
Baker Mayfield. I had Baker Mayfield, but of course I had. There were people.
Hey, but you're
before
plat
me.
1, man.
What?
You met him?
Or you plat 2 now?
I would love to be Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, it's super interesting.
But I did go to the day. One of the first things I did after my face reveal was I went to.
Well, you could be plat 2.
Oh, cool.
Got it, B.
It's an interesting point on the current social relationship, and actually, I wanted to ask you, because you do get a lot of criticism. I think when you're at your size, it's but also because of how much you've evolved publicly. Like you grew up kind of.
KJ.
Massive.
Spike down.
One thing that, as fans of this space, as being impressed with your branding, Colin and I bought this.
One enemy remaining.
Which is your USB stick.
Wow.
So we bought this at super curious. And on the notion of like parasocial relationship, on this is like photos of you as a kid. It's like more intimate look into Clay, I would say.
Yeah.
Tell me about this, because I was very intrigued by this. I think this had mixed reviews of like your fans being.
Oh no, oh no. We somehow managed to win defense, and we got this. Cause like,
so on that, there's
they got a lot of
just
shit.
Pictures, but
Think we
essentially
lit it up.
we were coming with the idea of putting a USB stick, and I was like, well, what if we put something? And I was like, what do we put on the USB stick to make it, make it
go.
meaningful?
I mean, like this.
Out of my way. There we go.
Okay, that's
Get some.
Reyna, Omen, mid, coming through A connector.
Running low.
I'm very interested in like their baby pictures and like whatever, and I
2 coming from their spawn, 1 coming through R.
What people were probably uncomfortable with too is like
1 heaven, 1 lower.
One enemy remaining.
Last 1 heaven. Don't peek it.
Like you're giving like
Don't
gated
be
access to something behind a paywall, right? Like I'm sure
I wasn't selling my baby. I was like, oh, he's selling his baby. It's like that's like, I do think that's a little that if I was selling my baby, just buy my baby pictures. That is a little weird because technically in reality it was just like, hey, I want to put my kind of childhood and my me growing up on a USB stick.
Here's how I see it, because like the way I see it is you were talking about Spider-Man earlier in the interview. This is like, do you want to know the origin story of Peter Parker?
Yeah.
Right? You want to know some lore about a character that you love? And so I think it's like, it's all new. Right? All of this is new to have characters like you grow on the internet is to the size and scale.
Someone gets spiked. Bottom frag.
We didn't increase the price.
Bottom frag.
The same price as it would have been without anything.
KJ always does some dumb shit over here.
Slightly more than just, hey, a USB stick with a smile.
Yeah. Your core fans probably cherish.
Oh, they love it.
Yeah, this thing is like cherished by. And I understand what you're saying because I grew up like massive fan of like emo bands, emo and pop punk bands, and like I still have guitar picks that some bands would throw out.
There's no way none of you knew he was there, bro.
That's like meaningful. Whatever you connect with.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a fan of something, this kind of stuff is meaningful. Yeah,
you won't peek, pussy.
Oh. Spike down. I can't help but think about you.
I looked away because the Omen.
So music is obviously now
I looked away because the Omen was behind.
In this moment, you're putting the mask back on. You released a music video.
Yeah, that's when he wrote it.
It feels like there's a little bit of momentum around the music.
No, I don't know how Omen killed one of you. That's the real question, bro. No, I want to know how someone died though. Like I thought everyone heard it.
Right? Like there's a history of this, and now that I'm like listening to the music, I'm looking at you, I'm seeing the brand, I'm kind of like, this looks and feels like something I've seen before.
Wait, right? we should say.
Just with a lot more fandom around it before you even go on tour.
You gotta do it different or better, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I love.
Bro.
Voice or whatever.
Yeah, I saw that already.
I had a story I wanted to tell. I didn't feel like I had a medium to traveling. Like I wanted to tell a story.
Crowd, I hear crowd.
Nowhere to run. And regardless of what the story was, I was like, that feels weird to like live stream.
CT and unknown.
Like you're like targeting them, or you're doing something along those lines. And so I didn't feel like I really had a way to express certain like feelings or emotions I had.
One enemy remaining.
I just feel awkward almost in other mediums. And so I didn't know that whenever I reached out to Parker, who I made my first song with. I had a story I wanted to tell. And I was like, hey, I've never done music. I think it'd be fun to try.
Waiting for you.
Into a song. He was like, yeah. And then we did it. And that literally, once it was done, I put it there. I didn't even realize how much of an outlet it was. I was like, wow, it feels great to be able to tell that story. Have it not feel weird, have it feel organic.
I would buy someone.
Be able to tell it in a unique way. It was fun. I mean, I was crafting this big story, and like I'm good. I can write a book, but then it's like condense it. And it very much related me to like video editing and stuff. Like I do the same thing when I'm video editing. You take a massive like VOD and
that shit was so depressing though, bro. Right as I went to pull that shit out, I got stoned.
Building a song, in my experience.
Yeah. I saw the whole thing. I couldn't do anything because like I had to get up the steps.
I know. I couldn't do anything either. There's two in there.
I love that. I did my first 3 songs. They each were very different from each other in terms of like the process behind them.
One was bro.
Industry, one was much
bro, this bitch is crazy, dude.
Like just an intro with with to be able to decide and be like, hey, I feel like I enjoy this enough. Seriously, you can almost take the same approach to radio music. I was like, hey, it's like a job that can actually feel like a job and treat it seriously.
Watch out!
Music industry is a very serious industry, and making music is not just going to be like, oh, hey, I have 10 million followers, therefore I'm gonna make music and people will listen to it. And so I primarily wanted to tell those stories, and then now obviously putting out more. I do plan on stepping more into it. I just actually it's just now pretty much public. This is the first time I guess I'm saying this specifically. But I signed a record deal with Republic Records last year.
Oh wow! Facebook deal? Or?
No, it was after the Facebook deal. Right, it was at the top during that whole era. During the Facebook deal, we were in discussion.
One enemy remaining.
And really, I was like, I went to them. Yeah, I want to take music seriously. I want to.
He just keeps on saving and throwing rounds.
But I actually really want to do it right. I want to learn. I want to learn how to make music, how to do it right, and how to tell my stories. And so I spent a long time. You know, it's been like 2 years between.
That's weird.
My last song and the song I just put out.
Bro's not helping his team.
During
They
those
just
2
get
years,
fixed,
the same way
that's
that
all.
during those 6 months, I was studying YouTube. I was looking into music and how it works and how the industry works and figuring out how can I actually put the stories out there I want to put out there in a way that people will relate to, people will enjoy, and make them good and make good legit music that you can listen to and be like, hey, this is
Whatever they're doing,
So I'm not
I
saying
like
my
it.
old stuff was not good or legit, but I think it's a lot less good and legit than a lot of the stuff that I'm working on now. And so I'm stepping in more into the music world, and the mask actually has nothing to do with that, but I also think that it's cool that it's more normal.
Yeah, it's more normal in music.
Yeah.
It's super interesting. So you're for real, like, with music? Because, like, I feel like a lot of creators we see, you grow a massive audience, music's a pretty viable option. Because if you have a song that hits, it's like, or like tour, like those are really good businesses.
And even like diss tracks could get millions. But seriously, like if you boil it down to like diss tracks, which are some of the like musically some of the worst music.
One enemy remaining.
Right, but they're like culturally relevant to a group of people, can find millions of streams. Right, and so I think people have that thought. It's the same thing of like, well, you can just do it because you're popular.
Yeah, I mean, I never really had that, I guess.
I'm out of here.
My first, I was literally scrolling TikTok and I saw like a TikTok.
Coming through.
Someone commented on his TikTok and he said like, I'm turning, comment down below, I'm turning.
Get out of my way.
And then he made like a dang or something. What? This guy is like awesome. How did he do that? And I was like, do that with me, that'd be sick. And then obviously enjoyed the process, but I did never put out any music videos. I didn't up to this point now. You know, my first songs, I did almost no promotion for them. I never promoted them. Probably most people on my main channel didn't even know I made them, other than maybe through memes or for people talking about them organically, like not through me. I didn't like try and throw it in people's faces and be like, guys, I'm making music, you know, whatever. I really just was like, hey, this is kind of, if you want to check this out, you can. I don't even know if I probably mentioned it in a live stream or something, and just, you know, put it out there and with the stories I wanted to tell. Until I found out that I was like, hey, I actually feel like I can take this seriously. And then now, yeah, no, I want to step in. I want to learn. Obviously, we're still in an upwards trajectory.
So you just have to do it in public, which is, you know, which is an interesting thing.
Nah, that's crazy.
I don't want to be like, hey,
I'm so ass.
Right when I signed the record deal as well, just be like, hey,
There's two in there.
Hey, I'm gonna put.
Oh my God!
We're gonna see all the crap before we get to the goal or whatever.
Bro got nice.
So I wanted to make sure I just had some really good quality, high quality stories to tell, because that is my most important thing. And then also some awesome professional producers and stuff that can make the sound really awesome. And then also take singing lessons and stuff.
Last player standing.
And learn how to sing.
Spike down A.
You know, use my as a faceless creator. One of the reasons I blew up in the first place, not because of my singing, but my voice. Like I always had to say.
Last round in the half.
We're fine, man. Don't even worry about it.
It's not obviously it's not necessarily for singing. It doesn't mean I'm a good singer, but.
You could rush the side and knock it all.
Because like I have a sense of where I think they are, but I'm curious.
Let's rush A and I'll also get close.
I find I've brought this up before, and my answer is always like, well, I relate so much more to like the story behind the music than the music itself, which is I think why I have the avenue where I'm like, I want to tell this story. So like Alec Benjamin, but he has such a forward story. Like I'm listening to a song, you cannot miss this.
Shit, my bad. I don't play Raze.
Almost out. Careful here.
Oh, yeah, I knew he was gonna
talk about music and how what I was doing with it, and we made a
You
song.
should run.
I get inspired by a lot of songs.
Damn.
Last player
Funny
standing.
examples like Eminem. I feel like there's a lot of his music that I think like a lot of things. There's like multiple songs I've heard of his when I was like
Blind.
One enemy
where I was like,
remaining.
wow, that's like a song called Headlights.
Yeah, sure. Bad call by me.
I cried
Good try,
when I was
man.
fighting with my mom, put that song on and was like crying. And like it's more of so like I don't think singer or he's, you know, whatever. But the story that he put.
Nah, you get invincible, bro.
At least tell there's art behind the
Switching
stuff.
sides.
So I feel like with my music in terms of inspiration, I really
I've seen people do that to save their fucking Vandal before.
I want so much to put out into the
I mean,
world.
it's smart to do that
I've done it through
sometimes.
Minecraft content. I've done it through, you know, streams and stuff. But
Careful here.
it's touching a whole different group of people. There's people that don't, you know, that don't watch Minecraft or that don't, you know, watch Twitch streams, and having a whole different group of people to kind of spread that same message to, in a different, memorable way, where you can listen to a song and be like, wow, you know, I can tell there's heart behind this. I can relate to this story.
Yeah.
And so even though, like, as an example, talking about how I look at my old stuff and go, oh, that's kind of cringe or whatever. Like, I love Mask because of the fact that I
can get Match MVP, that's easy, right?
I don't love Mask music. I don't love Mask as, you know, for my singing ability.
Yeah, I'll buy a share.
Or even like lyrically, I think I could have told the story better. This time I love the fact that it was just me. Lyrics, and I sat there and was like, what story do I want to tell? And I told it. And so being able to keep that also learning.
Like, what story are you telling?
One enemy remaining. Spike down B.
Called Until I End Up Dead. And
I had him on.
The whole concept of the song.
Bro, it's not that deep.
And I was talking about a good friend of mine, content creator Technoblade, who was also a Minecraft YouTuber. He did a lot of the same stuff as me. We interacted obviously a lot. He was on the Dream SMP. And he was the same age as me, and he had family and everything, and
Careful here.
he suddenly passed away from cancer. Obviously, his dad posted a video on his YouTube channel that I'm sure a lot of people have seen.
I got here.
Heartbreaking, and I had talked to him before then, and knew the video was coming.
Jesse.
Actually,
He's with the Marshall.
About it happening, because he reached out to me. His dad reached out to me.
Spike down A.
Connected to that, and then also about in a similar situation when I was a kid. Situations
you're in trouble.
Sentiment I got from it was similar. His mom was the same age as me, everything, and I remember being at her funeral.
One enemy
crying
remaining.
selfishly
Oh, he's
because I
B,
was
he's B.
picturing my mom more so than because his mom was gone. And
He probably has my Spectre.
going back to Technoblade, I was like, it made me realize like life is so short, and he was just like me. He was the same age as me. His life was so similar to mine. I was like, that could have been me. That easily could have been me. I don't think most people even probably realize this piecing it together, but like he got his diagnosis
Need a drop.
according to what I put together from like Technodad and his dad. Knew he was dying in like 6 months, and then posted funny YouTube videos about the fact that he was dying, making giving us hope and stuff as well. And I just never even knowing he had cancer, I was just like, oh, he's fine. He's gonna be. I remember vividly him posting a video and being like, oh, he's gonna be fine. He's strong. He's gonna be fine, and then just being completely blindsided by the fact that, holy shit.
110 Omen, 88 Killjoy.
Was positive and encouraging people to be
Huh?
happy and trying to spread.
people
I
on
feel like
both
that really,
sides.
I guess, inspired me. And
Bro, you saw him
Kill
TV.
him right
I
away.
need to be appreciative of
He was 1 HP.
people and the things I care most about around me.
Oh, plenty C, plenty C.
Spike planted.
So telling that story with this song, it was very much a story of some of the lyrics.
Very nice poke, bro.
Jeez, one.
And make sure I'm still here. Because I really did, and it was like this, like kind of almost like what's the word I'm looking for?
Last player standing.
My ult's not ready.
You aren't invincible. You're not. You mortality. This moment of, oh my god. And then obviously the way I kind of handling those emotions and realizing that he would want you to be positive. He would want you to live
We won't
around the fact of the things that you wish you had said, or the things that you wish you had done, or and so being able to kind of take those like very conversational things.
Well, we still have.
It was gone before the game started, bro. Let's be honest.
The song and the meaning behind it, and making it a very like happy, upbeat song that is sad. because it's about.
That's beautiful, man.
Very meaningful.
That's really beautiful, and I love that you did a fundraiser connected to the music video.
That's to the Sarcoma Foundation, which is a foundation.
Mid.
Some C. Yeah, some C.
Gotta go.
I'm as you grow with music, you know, that music video
Last
also
player
has
standing.
without the mask on in there. Like, is the thought as you
Spike
continue to
planted.
grow, like, are you very comfortable with continuing to grow fame? And are you comfortable continuing to grow that as play, as dream? You know, what does that feel like for you? Because you did take down some of your IRL content, and I think the world probably is wondering, like, I would assume the biggest question that the world is wondering is, like, do you regret the face now that you're putting the mask back on? And as you grow, music has the opportunity to blow you up even further.
Yeah, I definitely don't regret the face reveal. I think to me, it's like, in order to live my life, I feel like I had to do the face reveal, and I was in this constant state of like paranoia, and like, my life is way better now that I actually live my life and do what I want, and so I don't regret the face reveal whatsoever.
You should run.
Given the fact that I had this mask, we could go back. I would maybe do things slightly differently, but it's also hard to say that because I create a chain of events where things go differently.
I gotta leave
almost everything. And so I'm pretty comfortable, and I think with music, it's like I want to tell these stories, and in my mind, it's like, yeah, okay, if it involves me, you know, being more famous in order to impact
Spike planted
while I'm here on Earth and that possibly can to hear my stories and to be impacted by them, whatever emotion they feel. I want them to feel something.
Last player standing.
77 Jet, 40 Omen.
Into Walmart or something, and it's like, okay.
I can imagine that's really annoying. Not like annoying, but like you have to think about it. It's not like you can go to a coffee shop.
All right, guys.
It's annoying in the way that
I have a
I'll
tactic.
get up and be like, I want to go to 7-Eleven to get like a drink, and then I'll be like,
Are you ready? It's called the deathmatch tactic.
Do you have to have security?
Crouch and peek everyone.
No, I almost
So if you peek someone, as soon as you see them, they see you crouch. Just tap the crouch button.
But no, I get recognized a lot when I walk around in general in public. But I've never had anything like bad or weird or anything with people. People are always respectful and stuff so far.
What about being swatted? Have you been swatted?
Yeah, so I have been swatted before. And I've been like members of my family have been swatted. Most of my friends have been swatted. And, yeah, so they're definitely not a fun experience.
That's such a terrible part of.
Almost done.
It's one that most people just don't. I feel like a lot of people probably even watch this and don't understand what that is.
Yeah, let's explain.
They'll hear that and be like, what is? Being swatted is when somebody. It's called swatted because it's a SWAT team. So someone will call into the police like a fake police threat.
Last player standing.
Nowhere to run! At this address, I'm holding a hostage right now, and I'm gonna shoot them in 10 minutes. Whatever it is, I have a bomb. And so
while the streamer is live.
Yeah, it doesn't even necessarily have to be while streamer is live. Like, I've been swatted when I'm not live, and just
that's so dangerous. I mean, people have died, right?
Yeah, people have died. It's not comparable, but it's horrible. It's something that shouldn't be the case. Like, as an example, I got I said it in my Facebook video, but I got like a text from I got a call.
Just gotta win.
An unknown number, and then I got a text and it said like, "Hey, this is the FBI. We need to talk to you." And I was like, FBI, very funny. And then I was like, this is a new number. I only got this a couple months ago. Like, I don't know who.
Bro, it's so easy, bro.
So I called my local police department. I was like, hey, I got a text from the FBI. FBI. And I was like, well, make sure, because I have a reason why it could be the FBI. And they're like, no, you're good. I was like, well, can I like talk to someone like higher that way, just to like make 100% sure? And they're like, okay, yeah, sure. I'll check with like one second. Sergeant's on route.
Son of a bitch, TP'd on the bus.
Sergeant's on route to your house. Wait, maybe it is the FBI. And I was like, all right, thank you very much. Hung up, and I called them. They're like, yeah.
Spike planted.
We don't that. Want us to?
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
What?
What?
Was very different than my mom's reaction. My reaction was, of course, this is stupid. I was like, nah, you know, it's fine. I don't want to go into protection.
Thrifty.
And no one won like the alpha or something.
Yes, no, bro.
My mom's reaction was like, oh my god, that's so scary. It's horrible.
Who wants it? Who wants it?
Do you want to come to our, you know, whatever. And so I think that those are kind of two different reactions. Where mine is a very like, it's more like.
It's a strange outcome of like getting better at the craft of being a storyteller and a creative person comes with this other thing, right? Like the outcome of that is fame, you know, potential danger like that. It's just interesting that
This is such a terrible way to look at things, and I mentioned this in my intro video. One of the things I mentioned. I feel like
Dude, like sometimes you use a wireless mouse, bro. Like you'll like go to turn and like you just start doing like 1080s, like that's fast.
Yeah, the wireless mouse.
It's almost like
yes. Which one, bro?
Because
Nice.
of the fact that you're like, yeah, well, you got swatted again or whatever. Like, whereas with someone else would be like, the end of their life if this thing happened. It's this crazy thing that it is crazy though.
Yo, what mouse you got, my boy?
Me, I got a.
That's wild.
Hold on.
That can be a byproduct of just wanting to do good work that you think is valuable and interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So did that have? Is any of that why you deleted
It's
some
not,
of the other
it's taking a
IRL
second to
content, like
open.
face reveal videos,
Oh, no.
Antarctica vlog?
Oh no, not at all. I think that to me it was like again when I was going back to the mask. It's like I wanted a reason really to bring this.
What? This way. Gotta go.
Important to me as a thing. And I think that it created a massive splash and that it was everywhere. You know, there's probably over 1 billion views on Twitter and Instagram.
You
and
should
TikTok
run.
About people being like,
Watch out.
deleted.
Go, go, go.
I remember sitting there and I was like, oh, I want to, and I privated everything. So everything's not deleted except for on the top where you can and you have to delete.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I delete this? Like the face reveal tweet and it had like 1 million likes or something.
Wow.
And I was like, kind of got to if you're doing it. I was like, all right, I'm going all the
in.
way.
Wow.
And I deleted it. So they're still there for memory's sake and stuff.
Spike planted.
Oh,
wait.
But for now, it's like I really
I'm flashing. I'm flashing.
I just really want to solidify. No, I'm being serious. I want this to be
Right hell or whatever on the tower shit.
One enemy remaining.
Good shit.
play, you know, kind of man behind the mask or whatever. That's fine. But I want the separation of like when Spider-Man, he's Spider-Man. He's not Peter Parker. He's not really back superheroes again, but it's the same thing. I wanted to bring that back. And so I think it will be.
Match
I'm
point.
fine with making
They look
appearances
tired.
Yeah, up.
wearing a mask everywhere. Eventually.
Gotta go.
But for now, I want to solidify this and make sure.
Gotta go.
I can't.
Go.
40 million views or whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyone can be
I'm
behind
outta
it.
here.
Delete that, and it's still who I am doesn't change. Doesn't change the fact that I am who I am. I've done what I've done. And so I think it's just a way to solidify it.
Interesting. Is like personal life complicated with this amount of fame?
Right, this amount of time.
Like
Right.
dating, friendships, all that.
It is so.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes, it for a little bit.
I'm out of here.
How do you separate your personal and your work life? Please, someone, one of you other creators, do you have an answer for that? I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's so hard because when you're in the limelight, then anyone around you is in the limelight.
Yeah.
Your friends and people. You can criticize someone for for something that their friend did, whatever. And so I think that
Go.
I don't know. I don't know the answer. I always that's one of the questions I
Spike planted.
creators about and talk about. And to him, how do you guys imagine? I remember talking about
Last player standing.
for YouTubers, but also for just
So I think for you specifically, because a sense of mystery
Listen
is
up.
almost a part of
Kill
your
them
brand,
before they kill
right?
us.
People want to know more about it.
Yeah, but I
Sorry,
think it
guys.
happens no matter what.
You're not push.
Yeah, that's true.
There was people being like, well, if you want to stop the
You gonna hold it
boxing
long?
and harassment, then just reveal your face. And it's like, well,
I'm a whole garage.
Yeah, that's not gonna stop it. Yeah,
it might
it's not gonna stop
amplify it
Yeah,
because you're
totally.
more
Yeah.
interested or something, but it doesn't stop it. It happens to everyone. It just makes it more of like a there's like slightly more of a reason because they're like, ooh, I want to find out what he looks like.
Gotta go.
So
So at this point now, when you look out for the next 2 to 3 years, do you know what success looks like?
I'm out of here.
Mid.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've always had the view that like success is defined by your brand, obviously. So it's like there's no like, oh, you made money,
Oh, in mid?
successful, or you know, you did have this job.
Last player standing.
I think success to me is always just being
Spike planted.
I'm putting out while also contributing like an upward positive. In terms of like you know, like social media, you know, you're actually talking about like numbers and things like that. I feel like it's such a changing space that you know, one number is meaningful one day and meaningless the next day. One video is amazing one day and kind of it's like crappy video the next day. And so it's really hard to look even, you know, 6 months
this
in
is
the
what
future
we've
and
been
say,
saying
oh, this is,
everything
I think
for.
this is success if I'm doing this.
You guys, well, look at this. You're ready for what's about to happen.
That's why I have a healthy relationship with numbers. I have to separate it and go, no, no matter what the numbers are, like you can use that as a guide to try and obviously you want to increase the numbers and so forth, but you can just use that as a guide for doing what you
Get 'em
love
all.
and doing what you can to
Go, go, go.
I guess. So,
Nice.
Talk us through this.
There we go.
Oh, that's all right, Dream.
One
Nice.
enemy remaining. Spike
Voting not clear corner.
right in the middle there.
I'm surprised that didn't happen earlier. Yeah.
Oh, he's right there. Easy.
Quick to that quick.
All right, so
Thanks, Jesse. Yeah.
Defenders
I
win.
told you I've been saving it, bro. You're
no.
welcome.
Don't mess with me.
GG's.
Collins in your show history.
there's never been a spill.
This is the first spill.
No,
At
first
least
spill
I have
on
an
the show.
excuse for it. Like,
Yeah, you have an
I feel a
excuse.
little worse if I didn't.
Okay.
So yeah, talk us
good.
through this mask.
Yeah, so this mask was made by obviously a professional mask company that, like we said earlier, made the masks for a bunch of different places. It's actually it's pretty sick. I mean, I can see through it pretty well, except for in a couple places. I actually can't see through the mouth or the eyes, so this cup was kind of like right there on the bottom. I'm looking forward and I don't see the cup.
Can I try it on?
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
It's actually a laser like fit to my head and my skull.
Oh yeah, you have a big head.
I have a big head. I have a very big
I got a
head,
really
so
small head.
Wow. It was 2 dreams.
There's another
Look at
one,
that.
right?
Oh,
There's
yeah,
another mask.
There is
honestly-
another mask.
You want to put it on?
You want to put
Yeah,
it on?
I'm interested.
Yep,
Yeah,
of course.
Where is it?
It's right behind us. Over there, in that back. This is much more comfortable and easier to see than I anticipated.
And I would imagine it's even more comfortable for me because it is fitted to my skull,
Yeah.
and so like the pads go right up against my face, and it's right, everything fits really perfectly.
There's something to it too that you almost feel like a sense of safety in it. I don't know if you feel that way, but right now I feel like.
No, I agree. I think it is really cool. Like one thing that I've noticed is like this is kind of funny, but also kind of bad. Like there you go, 3 dreams.
Yeah.
3 dreams in the podcast.
Yeah.
This is like I'm doing a podcast with myself now.
Yeah.
You can like look anywhere. So if you, like you're looking,
Dude,
it looks like you're looking at me.
yeah.
You can like look. I'm looking at the monitor right now, like way over there. Even though I'm not even looking.
I'm looking at the monitor too.
So I've
looking
noticed
at
that in
Samir.
public sometimes. Like if I see somebody
crazy.
and I'm like, usually if I glance, I'm like, what is that guy wearing? I might like look like, oh god, I don't want to stare.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can just like stare and be like, what is that guy wearing? Whatever. It's
Wow,
just
Part of
funny.
your superpower.
It feels like you can see more of the world. Like you see the world, and the world doesn't necessarily isn't able to like see
Which
you
is so
in a
cool
way.
how that even works.
Yeah.
I don't even understand it. That's why I was saying with the whole science thing. How does that work? How can I see and you
I
can't?
definitely can't tell how close I am to the mic right now.
Yeah,
there's some blind spots. I see it. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
There's definitely like kind of middle here it can get, and also it depends on like the lighting. Some lighting's better and worse, and it also depends on like if I'm sweating a lot or something, like it'll like clog up the pores in it, and so it makes it even like harder to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having like a lot of stuff like
This is
it's still
cool.
it's still not even done. Like I'm having a lot of like attachments made for it. Obviously, like I already had like I didn't bring it, but I have a straw attachment.
Yeah.
That like
So you can
attaches
drink.
on.
That's funny.
I can drink. I
Yeah.
wear like an umbrella one, a mic one, and a bunch of other stuff. And also like even with the hood, it's like these are magnets, and so it's magnetized to it, so I can like shake my head and not have the hood like come off. Which is I think pretty cool.
This is awesome.
Maybe one day it'll be like when they release a new iPhone, and it's
There's
like,
the new Dream Mask.
Drop a new
Dream
Dream
Mask
Mask.
3.0.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
funny. So, do you envision yourself, by the way, like going on tour? Like, I'm putting this back on. This is more comfortable. Like, can we see you on tour in the next year or two?
I think that you should wait and see. We'll find out.
Dream! How dare you? How dare you leave us on a cliffhanger like that? Well, if you do go on tour and you stop here, we'd love to come.
You're welcome.
Genuine fans of your music.
we were playing it loud today.
Yeah, this conversation for me.
I can't wait for you to hear my new stuff.
Dude, I can't wait. This conversation for me has been like so revealing of like who you are, like who you actually are. I've had so many questions, and again, I think you've been like
you know, a mysterious part of YouTube for me. But this has been an awesome conversation, man.
Yeah,
like, I really appreciate you.
It's been awesome for me as well. I feel like it's nice to have a chance to just kind of sit here and under almost no constraints, just be like, hey, let's just talk.
Yeah, I appreciate you being so vulnerable too, and like just being open and answering all of our questions. Like, it's awesome, man.
Well, thanks for allowing me to make me feel comfortable too.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Cool.